on because I didn't do it during Drop-Off Line Sports time. But I actually popped on to Facebook and did a sort of Drop-Off Line Sports live type of deal just a moment ago. And my thought to everybody that was watching at the time was, does it concern you because clowns like me and national folks so deeply believe this team should be or end up in an elite level category of NFL teams this year? And when I suggest that they should make it to the AFC title game, I mean, now you're talking about the Final Four, so yeah, that would put them in the elite level of football teams in the NFL in 2019, and that is a large jump from what we thought about this team a year ago. I mean, the whole storyline, and I never say narrative, but the whole storyline has changed profoundly in the past year compared to what we were talking about this time last year and the level of expectations to what we expect from this team coming up this year. And in large part, the meter is being moved by us, media folks, talk show hosts, writers, television talking heads, bloggers, podcasters. Yeah, not so much about the team themselves. I was trying to think. Negative, and I shouldn't even say negative because it's really not negative. But of the non-believers out there, Mike Tannenbaum, who's the former Jets general manager, I think he is one. He believes in Jacksonville in the South. And Rodney Harrison doesn't believe in the Colts. Rodney Harris has never believed in the Colts. And frankly, if you're just going to go with the Patriots right now, you can always go with the Patriots. I'd feel good about the Patriots. Look at that division. Think anybody in that division is going to be even sniffing 500 other than the Patriots probably winning 12 or 13 games, right? I mean, anybody, the Jets, the Bills, the Dolphins are going to be bad for the foreseeable future. I don't even know if Flores is going to have time enough to crack down, on and punish all those that are not abiding down there before he's going to end up getting knocked out of there. That seems like that is going to be a longer-term rebuild. But just a couple here or there. So my thought was, with the folks watching right before I came on here, was, you think they're getting too much love? I have a Twitter follower named Daniel that suggests that they're getting way too much love. Now, sometimes regarding the Colts, he's a little bit negative. I try to keep it between the lines here of just not going off the table in negativity, but not stratospherically in love with a team. And again, these are things you talk about this time of year because you don't actually get to, other than what you saw over the weekend in practice, which we'll get to in a second, there's just nothing you can really talk about or break down or have an opinion about other than what you think is going to happen. It's just this time of year in a nutshell. But I always find it kind of interesting that everybody wants to hear, the positive about their team. That's what is so awesome about this time of year for NFL fans, because even hell, if you are the Dolphins, you are at least going through a rebirth. Get a Patriots guy down there. Yeah, see what can happen. I mean, who knows? I mean, Nate Davis of USA Today called the Colts a 2-win team this time a year ago. And we all know what happened there. And this is really unlike any other sport, any other professional sport out there, at least that we pay attention to, because in the other two that we pay attention to, normally if they say that you're going to be crap water, you're going to be crap water. Not too many ways about it. And then in the NBA, if you're not crap water, it's almost better to be crap water than middling, because you're kind of stuck on a treadmill of middling for the rest of your life. Or at least for the foreseeable future. So the NFL is different. I mean, the NFL, that you can come right back after a year and you can inspire folks with what has been done in the past couple, from Chris Ballard, what was done in year number 1 from Frank Reich, and most of the NFL world out there firmly believes this Colts team should be a high-level AFC player, other than a couple. Some of you, however, as much as you love to hear that about your favorite team, you're apprehensive at some point because you hear so much of it. You're thinking there is no way this is going to go down as everybody explains it to be. You kind of hope everybody stops talking about it. At least that's what I gather. So I threw that out there on Drop Offline Sports just a little bit earlier about, is there a point where you wish everybody would shut up about the Colts just by virtue of there still being a great deal of unknown, and there's just all love and basically no negativity whatsoever? Jabal Sheard became the first really negative, especially in the injury category over the weekend. That does suck too, because when you hear about it, you're thinking, all right, so what's he really going to be dealing with here? They say he can be out for a while. Just how long of a while might this be? So, and it's funny, too. I mean, we talk about the depth, and that is something that Chris Ballard has built within this team. There's no question about that, or certainly has had the vision, and it appears that vision has become reality to this point. But the last thing you want to see, guys, start going down. Jabal Sheard has been a steady contributor to this team, and we'll see how long that's going to be. Half the season, more than half the season, less than that? Hopefully not. So that was part of the news this weekend from Colts camp. I mean, other than that, you got a couple of rookies that really shined. We had him on the show on Thursday. Paris Campbell got a lot of chatter, a lot of conversation about the type of practice that he had. And before you say don't go overboard on practice, nobody's going overboard on practice, but you have to talk about what goes on in practice because that's the only gauge that you have. It's kind of the way that it goes. But everybody was in love with Paris Campbell. Rock Ya-Sin has been another name. Another rookie that has performed, had a couple of picks. Yeah, I saw one. I don't know if the pass was tipped or what. It just kind of looked like a wounded duck out there. But Rock Ya-Sin got it. So that's positively. The return of Quincy Wilson. Getting serious about it. Maybe not serious in the first couple of years, but certainly getting serious about it this year. And he's been talked widely. Like the first week, or at the end of the first week, like Jalen Collins' name came up all the time at the end, right? And now you hear a little bit more about Quincy Wilson, Rock Ya-Sin, and Paris Campbell, who, by the way, podcast, if you missed Paris Campbell with us last Thursday, is up there right now at 1075thefan.com, if you would like to check that out. So we can certainly hit it. I mean, there's some negativity that's floating around, like Jabal Sheard is really it. And I saw a debate earlier this morning, and I think that we're just kind of really used to it, right? You know, Jim Irsay putting too much pressure on his team to perform, and turn this thing around and be championship level this quick. It can never be too quick. Especially what everybody went through around here, it can never be too quick. You know, those final years of Chuck and those final years of Grigson around here, I mean, it couldn't end quick enough after that AFC title game. So, yeah, the turnaround from, back-to-back disappointments to a 4-win team, I've always said this, it's not too quick. Talk it up. Talk it up, especially if you believe it. And that's the one thing Jim always has done. If he believes it, he's going to talk it up. Now, clearly, you could end up being wrong, but it's happened before. It may happen again, but if I'm Jim Irsay, I feel pretty good about the type of team that I have right now. Probably make those guys feel good if they care at all that you're being compared to the greatest era around here, which was Manning and, Edgerrin James and Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne being involved. So if you're going to get compared to that, you're going to get compared to that. It's kind of funny. Everybody always wants this. It's kind of like in the Trevor Bauer apology, right? I think everybody knows you shouldn't just turn and get mad and chuck the baseball when your skip's on the way out to the mound, out into the center field lookout. Not the bleachers, but kind of the, where nobody sits area. of center field in Kansas City as it was yesterday. And much like everybody always wants a very non-vanilla quote or conversation, you want somebody to be really open with you. Until what? Until they're really open with you. I mean, Jim's just going to tell you in a very non-vanilla fashion, and it should be embraced. Like Trevor Bauer legitimately felt bad. I thought, hell, he apologized like he did something that was going to send him up for about 10 years of prison time. That was like a 3-minute apology. And you could tell he felt bad about it, yet, all right, he does the right thing, and then you got to break down what was wrong with him doing the right thing, and that shouldn't be how it works. That might be one of the biggest pains in the ass that I have. He apologized. Bad thing to do. I thought it was impressive. Hey, listen, I thought it was cool when Rob Dibble did it, and I think Rob Dibble threw it where fans were sitting. I'm quite sure the Indians and Terry Francona will be able to deal with it. I know he's had issues in the past. Wasn't he the one that had the drone before the World Series or before the postseason that was trying to fly it around and cut his hand on the drone? He's had some, but I'm not. You go too far when you want to break down whether it was right or wrong the way that he apologized. You could not have done that any better. And believe me, it's tough in that situation to immediately realize, oh, hell, I'm in the heat of the battle here. I'm mad. Everything's going wrong. And I'm sure he was probably mad at his play and then the play of others in the field. But he basically pointed the finger at himself. He said everything that needed to be said, and I thought he said it as eloquently as possible for after the game. And he still got to break down the apology. Well, I don't know if I believe it or not. How would you not? If 3 minutes long. It wasn't, but it felt that way. So somebody being open and honest in a conversation, and then somebody apologizing and doing the right thing, and then everybody out there feels compelled to explain to us how it wasn't the right thing. It's just the biggest pain in the ass ever. That's how we end up getting guys that are just straight vanilla and boring conversations out of this, because nobody ever wants to say anything. Nobody ever feels comfortable enough to say anything. It's kind of like how often you can feel in social media. Yeah, let's see. Let me see. I want to send this out, but like how many of the 1,000 different ways will somebody interpret this and try to make me sound like a horse's ass? And it happens all the time. Now, if you are one, that's different. But if you're not one, and then you're just thinking about, so how can I send this out without sounding like, how many, and again, that all is open to interpretation. I didn't think with Bauer there was much to interpret. I thought, yep, that dude feels bad about it. That sucks. And that was after being impressed. He's a pitcher. He should be able to throw it that far, right? Those guys should have a solid wing. It was after that, and then after what Irsay had to say. Well, I don't know if I'd put a target on my team. Jim Irsay has put a target on every team's back, if you want to put it that way. That's just kind of what he does. It's a non-vanilla, this is my team, and I love my guys answer, and people around here should eat that stuff up. Should eat it up. Well, I don't know. As long as we do this, and this happens, and things fall our way, and the good Lord willing, who the hell wants to hear that? Let's be honest, be open. And then when somebody's honest and open about it, you don't have to be critical of their honesty and their openness. That is my thought. We can hit it up if you guys want. 239-1070. Email address at JMV at 1070thefan.com. Apparently, instead of showing up in Oxnard where the Cowboys train, Ezekiel Elliott showed up in Mexico. That's going to get really good. He just had to sit back and relax and watch that all transpire. The Cubs bullpen. Hey, first of all, Reds 2 of 3 over the weekend. Well done. Thank you. Probably still going to sell or at the very least, not do anything. But well done. I got a feeling Puig's going to have to be out of there, right? At least according to some. I love Yasiel Puig. I do not want to see Yasiel Puig go. I enjoy it. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Cubs fans are mad at their bullpen. You a big fan of Kimbrel over there right now, Cubs fan, Kyle?
I mean, it didn't take him long to blow one.
I still kind of dig that arm thing hanging out there like that, though. Yeah. See, I like it. Somebody sent me this. I think it was the awesome Jennifer from Zionsville sent me an old school picture of Joe Morgan in the batter's box, batting left, flapping that left elbow. I used to, 9-year-old, I'm doing that. Didn't do anything for me. But I love Joe Morgan. I kind of like the Kimbrel thing where he lets that thing hang out there a little bit. Yeah, I don't mind it. Tony Stewart punches a jackass. I mean, really, for Tony Stewart, there was going to be. I mean, he got mad. Back and forth. Something was said. He chased this guy down. This guy wasn't going to lay a finger on Tony because people were going to break it up. It's kind of like Dazed and Confused, but. It didn't work out the way it worked out for Mike. Mike went after Clint. Clint got mad at Mike. And then Mike said, hey, you know what? At this kegger, the fight will be broken up. I'll get a punch in, right? I'll pour beer on his head and punch Clint, and then everybody will break it up, and I'll be fine. Now, they didn't get there quick enough, and he did get jacked around a little bit. But that's kind of like Tony Stewart. I mean, Tony Stewart, I've had enough of this guy. I'm going to chase him around the truck, and I'm going to pop him. And by the time this guy, and the guy ran anyway. I mean, the guy was like running. By the time this guy would have turned around to even try to do anything if he wanted to, the thing would have been broken up. Very Dazed and Confused-esque. We need to find a fantasy football sponsor. Anybody want to be a part and sponsor this bad boy? Are you okay with doing fantasy football? Are you a fantasy football guy? Because I don't want to be known as the guy that gets this thing started and then quits by the end of September like a lot of jackasses do. And I can look in the mirror on this. I have done that before. Completely losing interest by the end of September. And then you're playing a team and it really matters to some. And you got guys that, are injured and done for the season and they're in a bye week all playing. We've got to have folks that have zeroed in and want to be a part of it. Got to find a sponsor for that. Man, I saw it. The Bloomington Speedway, did you guys see? So they had the sprint cars going around, right? And it's a great venue to go watch a race. South side of Bloomington Speedway. Some dude flipped, and did like 3, 4, maybe 5 flips, and he landed outside the fence in the back of somebody's pickup truck. And did some damage to the back of somebody's pickup truck. That was amazing. And as from what I have heard or what I had read, the driver of that car was okay. I had seen those guys. Those guys are crazy. Because you have no idea if one of those guys gets squirrely where that car is going. It's like it's like when you spin something on a tile, you have no idea where it's going. And ultimately, this landed in the back of somebody's truck outside the fence itself, just like in a parking area. This guy's parked there, and all of a sudden, he's got a sprint car in the back of his truck. That was incredible. But glad to hear that everybody was okay there. That could get to be a mess in a big hurry. All right, on this show coming up here, I mentioned Mike DeRocco is going to join us. He covers the Jacksonville Jaguars for ESPN.com. DeRocco on the 5 o'clock hour. And I'm going to promise our guest coming up after 4 this. I understand this. I do. I understand. Everybody that gets to the NBA has a high level of athleticism. A high level. I'm going to ask TJ McConnell how many times in his life he's been referenced as gritty. And I am going to promise, at least from my standpoint, and I'm also hoping that I can maybe get Chris Denary to buy into this too, that I will never on this show reference him as gritty. Even though it's a good thing. We all love to be gritty. We all love to be gutty. We all love to be great passers. All love to have on the court leadership qualities and brains. But nobody has ever referenced T.J. McConnell as athletically gifted and fluid until today. I'm going to just tell him, listen, I'm done with the gritty stuff. No more gritty. Everybody knows that you're gritty. Because seriously, you know how much athleticism we have to play with some of these ridiculous guys in the NBA out here? So respect where it is deserved. And we will give that to T.J. McConnell and see what he thinks about it coming up a little bit later on in the 4 o'clock hour. I believe once upon a time, T.J. McConnell, did he not? Did he play in a game in the A-10 against Archie Miller? I believe so. T.J. McConnell, he's a new Pacer. He's going to join us coming up, I think, around 4:15 or so today. No more gritty. No more gutty. Athletically gifted and fluid, because to get to that level, you have to be. At some point, you have to be. So what is Gen Con next week or is this week? I'm not a Gen Con guy. How are they going to get from the airport down here if I-70 is closed? Can they like Star Trek and like teleport themselves from the airport down here? Because you may have to do that. Like 65,000 Gen Conners, and then you're going to hit I-70 where it's closed? I have tickets to Alice in Chains and Korn, and I got something else too. I just can't remember what it is. We'll talk that up coming up in a bit too. And this reminder, bullseyeeventgroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate, and a trip to New Orleans coming up in December for a Monday night game. We will talk that up with you as well. Quick shout, my friend Brian Fisk. I had a great time down in Greenwood on Friday. It was a great turnout. It was a great party, and I got to thank everybody involved. Of course, Brian and Lisa, the Fisk folks down there for having us. Evan Williams and Brent Holverson for being down there too, tended a little bar. Joe from Connecticut gave away an in-home drinking water station while we were there. That was awesome. And Wings Etc. Mark, and then Doug and Franklin for providing all the food. And DJ Skids, for the first time we did a DJ, and I thought it was awesome. DJ Skids was down there, and you can continue to sign up. It is 1075thefan.com. Sign up, and we will pick another winner. We got one more backyard, then we're doing one at Lake Monroe coming up on Labor Day weekend. But one more backyard. That's coming up for you. Thanks, everybody, on Friday. It was absolutely spectacular. Mike DeRocco, TJ McConnell, all coming up on the show today. And congratulations to Pat McAfee for hitting ESPN. That's awesome, too. He's doing like 900 different things. That is well done. And listen, they need somebody with the type of recognition portfolio that Pat brings on Thursday night, because you're battling NFL games if you're that college game, and that's exactly what they needed to do there. I mean, if you've looked at how many followers and his overall footprint, I mean, really globally with Twitter and Instagram and all that, but it's amazing, and that's exactly what they needed on Thursday night right there. It is. All right, quick break, and we'll come back. Stuff to win. Your thoughts, 239-1070. Are you worried that there's too much love being given to this Colts team? Doesn't matter. That and more. Back with you next.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
An effective defense often hinges on sophisticated strategies relating to income tax projections, business valuations, spousal support claims. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122 or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
You forget something?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to be able to pick up Braden tonight after practice.
Oh, did something come up at work?
Nah, not even going to make it in today.
Why? What's going on?
Well, I'm coming up on some construction in about a quarter mile. I've already started ignoring the signs. In a minute, I'll force my way through traffic while texting. I'll pull the wheel a little too far and drive right through the barrels where I'm going to hit a few workers. One of them is going to get killed, so then I'm going to be arrested and charged with vehicular manslaughter.
No one plans on having an accident, but you can plan to avoid one. Read the signs. Slow down. Stay alert.
This is Ward Daniels, business manager of Labor's Local 120. Every year, not only do accidents in the construction zone kill and injure workers, they can also cost you, the driver, thousands of dollars and time in jail.
A message from Indiana Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
You thought the beef and cheddar couldn't get any more delicious. And then Arby's added bacon to it. And you thought, oh, okay, but it can't get any better than that. And then Arby's made them 2 for $6. And then you thought, okay, but no, it can't get any better than that. And you were right. The bacon, beef, and cheddar, 2 for $6. Arby's, we have the meats.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
Calling all Bobs. IndianaUnclaimed.gov and the Office of the Indiana Attorney General may have money for you. In fact, we owe people named Bob more than $3.4 million. In all, we have nearly $500 million ready to return to deserving Hoosiers like Bob. And you, do we have money for you or the Bob in your life? Find out at IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's worth a look. See and search for yourself. IndianaUnclaimed.gov.
Back. And Cage the Elephant. Live in concert. This Sunday at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. With very special guest, Spoon and Wild Bell. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Back and Cage the Elephant. All the hits for one night only. Check more at beck.com and cagetheelephant.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
Win a round of golf with Jeff Rickard and Kevin Bowen at the Links at Heartland Crossing next Wednesday, courtesy of Franciscan Health Orthopedics. For more info, 1075thefan.com.
Wouldn't you like to have a nice, relaxing camping trip about now? Well, it's not that kind of camping trip. The Colts 2019 season starts in Westfield as the players move in for training camp. Let's go! And the Fan has you covered. Daily updates on air and online. The road to the Super Bowl begins in the long, hot summer. Run down the field on them! Colts training camp on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Let me have a Diablo sandwich, a Dr. Pepper, make it fast. I'm in a damn hurry.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Thank you for being a part. TJ McConnell, Mike Duraco on the show today. Darius Rucker tomorrow. Dan Orlovsky Wednesday. Phil Steele, college football. I mean, the publication for college football if you want to know absolutely everything. And impress your friends. Phil Steele coming up on Thursday, too. This week, I think the practices are in the morning, and that kind of screws me. Next week, I'll be out the 5th and the 6th. I know that Matt and the mayor of Westfield, Mayor Cook, have asked about that. So I'll be out there on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Monday and Tuesday doing the show live next week. And would have been out there both Thursday and Friday, but I was at a couple of great places Thursday and Friday. Of last week, at least. See, Troy, I completely agree with this. Troy Hudson tweets at me with this. The Colts have had so much doom and gloom over the past 4 years. I think everybody deserves a little bit of good karma. Doom and gloom and disinterest. And not disinterest a year ago, but, I mean, if you remember the entire, lost season that was Luck, there's a great deal of disinterest that set in. You guys are asking me this, too. If you have Dish Network and I think Sling, you guys aren't getting, in particular, Fox Sports Indiana, which screws you over during the Pacer season, screws you over watching the Reds. I have no idea what I can do. I do not have DirecTV. I do have DirecTV. I don't have Dish Network or Sling. But I do know this, that normally both sides are at fault here, and it is one of the bigger pains in the ass that any of us have to go through because we're right there every month, aren't we? And believe me, I'm right there with you with DirecTV. We are there every month with our payment. I pay an astronomical amount, and I should have cut the cord long ago. But at some point, this visual screw job is going to come to you and be at your doorstep. At some point. Because they all use us as pawns. Hey, go and call this. Go and call this because this is what they're doing to you. Then the other side, hey, call this number because this is what they're doing to you. You know what? This is what you guys are doing to us. Why should we have to? I don't want to do any work for this. Why should I have to work? Like I signed this deal and I get these channels, and unless it's pouring down rain in Clay County, I expect to get the signal. I don't know if that happens to anybody else. My God, if it's raining in Vigo or Clay County, that's when I know that we're going to get it because my signal goes out. So Cloverdale, if you're getting a storm, my signal is going to go out. But that is, to me, the truth of it. And I don't know. Somebody might tell me if I'm wrong. I do not know if there is a correct answer across the board. Because the first time I open my big yap about, well, you know what, you could do this just like I do, I'll be the one getting screwed. I was the one sitting back and having to go over and watch, 2 years ago, a Sunday night game in Seattle because Channel 13 and DirecTV were having an arm wrestling match that screws us all. Screws the customer. So I wish I had a good answer for you. Alas, I do not. Just know, and again, unless there's some magic formula that you guys know of where this never happens and will never happen, then this is all kind of par for the course, unfortunately. So I know you guys from Dish Network and Sling, I think, right now, right, are dealing with that. And that sucks. Hey, here's a number you can go call and tell them, give them a piece of your mind. Well, I don't want to do that. Why am I negotiating for you? JMV, I continue to hear about the wide receivers the Colts have on the roster, and Nyheim Hines is a wide receiver out of the backfield, but nothing on Marlon Mack. Any observations on him during camp? I think Marlon Mack, because the Colts want to run it a lot and want to be really good at running it and expect to be able to run it, I think as long as Marlon Mack, again, air quotes, stays healthy, that you should feel really good about Marlon Mack. But that has been the issue for Marlon. It is staying healthy. But that's what they want to do. And they want the workload to be handled by running the football and then opening up for all these vertical weapons that we talk about them having. But I'd feel good about Mack. The only thing that concerns me still is how he can remain healthy. But again, you don't see that until it actually goes down. I think, unfortunately, you just kind of think as a Colts fan, at some point he's going to miss a game because that has just been the MO. At some point he's going to miss a game. JMV, I call and complain so much they give me free HBO and Skinamax. Well, Skinamax no longer exists, though, James. That's too bad. They took that out. I used to be here. Like, I don't even watch Cinemax anymore because they don't have Skinamax on. I mean, as soon as they were done with Skinamax and the Emmanuel series, I'm done. Done. Brian says we do not have a workhorse at running back. They don't want a workhorse. I think they want they want changes of pace, Brian. I think that's what this is all about here. And we'll see what happens at the tail end of this with Spencer Ware and with Jordan Wilkins, but I don't think they want one legitimate workhorse. I think they expect to run the football with whomever gets it in there. Coons from Belton, Texas writes this. So I was at Colts camp Thursday and Marlon Mack looked great. That was one mental note that I made. O-line and Mack were great. Well done. Hey, JMV, is it jacket off weather coming our way? I'm getting a little static on the AM station. Yeah, I think we do have jacket off weather. I'm not sure. We don't have the weather up in here, and I haven't seen any warnings or anything go off, but I saw a line of storms coming our way. Now, the problem you have, I think a lot of these stations are going to go into their normal broadcast window times, so it won't be jacket off weather, even though it might be jacket off weather, because during those broadcast windows, all the meteorologists have their jackets on. Kind of works that way. Let's get Sarge on board at 239-1070. Hello, Sarge. How are you?
Hey, what's up, JMV? I'm the old baseball Cub fan. I called you before from Howard County. You said I spelled it H-A-R-D.
How you do? You say hard. You say hard like people say code instead of cold.
Yeah.
That's well done,
Well,
Sarge.
hey, here's what I got going on. I got DirecTV up here, and they're in an arm wrestling match with Wish TV and Channel 23, and I can't get the Cubs half the time.
So I don't even get Channel 23 and Wish, or I didn't even know that. I don't get that right now.
Well, I don't.
See, I'm getting screwed, Sarge. I don't even know I'm getting screwed.
Yeah. See, that's why I called you. I didn't know if you knew it.
I don't think I knew.
Well, up here, I live in Clinton County, almost, on the line with Howard County, but I can't get either one, and I've long since taken my antenna down, so I can't.
Well, I think you're going to have to. I think they're going to force us to do work and have to put one back up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, man. You pay out your butt.
Yep.
Every month for DirecTV, and I like it. Don't get me wrong, because I get that NBC Chicago,
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
That.
I get it, Sarge. And I guess the moral of the story here is at some point we're all going to get screwed over by this. And hell, I'm getting screwed over right now, and I don't even know I'm getting screwed over. So yeah.
Yeah. Well,
true.
I don't know about down there where you live, but up here, Channel 8 and 23 both.
Yeah, we're all in the same gang when it comes to DirecTV. So I'm sure I'm not getting it right now.
That's why I figured,
Yep.
But I didn't know if you knew that.
Sarge, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. I'm telling you, I'm getting screwed, and I don't even know I'm getting screwed. See, it just doesn't do any good because they just don't care. They don't care. Nobody cares. They might say they care, but they really don't care. The problem we have is, we're all paying every month, right? I'd complain about that if you weren't paying every month. And my bill's ridiculous, too. I mean, I'm such a numbnut when it comes to that. I just go, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm mad the other day. I'm trying to scroll through this, and there are these channels called Epic. Anybody get Epic? And like there've been good movies on there. I go, yeah, I want to watch this. And I should get everything. I mean, I should get absolutely everything. If somebody is sitting on a mountaintop in Colorado, farting in his armpit and putting it on video and broadcasting it out, I should get it as much as I pay. But yeah, something called Epic. Epics? Yeah, it's a problem. Anyway, so yeah, I guess I don't get Wish TV or TV 23. I did not know that. It's news to me. I'm sorry. News to me. Yeah, fantasy football is something we got to get started here. We got to think of. I'm kind of caught. I want a fantasy football league where everybody can play, but I know that it's a little bit more intimate where you get about 11 or 12 folks and you do it that way. How should we do this? You want to get in everybody is involved weekly league, or do you want to do something where you got any ideas?
Do they have services where you can just do kind of like a March Madness? Have a big group?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
That?
I'm sure they have everything. Yeah, I just I like the ones where it's more, you get people that want to participate, and then we end up picking them. But I don't want to leave everybody out. I kind of want everybody. So I don't know. Maybe we'll flip a coin on that coming up a little bit later on. I tell you what, you guys tell me what you guys want. You want everybody in, or do you want maybe 11 or 12 as a normal fantasy football league might be? And I'll sprout some knowledge for a great prize package coming up too. PlayStation View is the way to go. I've got like Xbox Live in a room. If it takes longer for me to like hit on and then hit the number of the channel, then I'm kind of out of it, Let's go, man. It's taking too long. Quick one. TJ McConnell in less than 30, and I promise you this, you'll love it. TJ McConnell, new pacer, less than 30. Mike DiRocco about the rebirth of sorts, the rebirth of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The biggest disappointment in the NFL a year ago was in Jacksonville. We'll talk about that rebirth with a new quarterback and guys that are on the same page. DiRocco at 5. We're back with you next.
Win tickets to Knockfest Roadshow featuring Slipknot at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center August 16th. Details 1075thefan.com.
What's the key to a stress-free summer? 3 words. New air conditioner. Hi, I'm Corey Kreitzberger from 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. At 1 Hour, we'll guide you to the right air conditioner for your home and back it with 3 more words. 10-year warranty. Buy a new system now and get a free 10-year parts and labor warranty. Call 844-1HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Excludes basic systems. Terms and conditions apply. License number 800106668.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Universal Windows Direct, the only window company that features Unishield, a high-performance glass, and Super Spacer, a non-metal, non-conductive glass spacer system that lowers those monthly energy bills year-round. And right now, for every window you buy, you get the next window free, no limits, and 0% financing for 36 months. You also get a true lifetime warranty for as long as you own your home and 30 years to the next homeowner. Call 317-659-8191 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com for your free in-home estimate, and soon you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. We're almost halfway through summer, and if you haven't found the home of your dreams, I have some great news for you. Mortgage interest rates continue to drop, and we are back to those historic low levels. What does that mean for you? You have a lot more buying power. You can now expand your search to a higher price point and still have the same payment. The 5-minute loan approval only available at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Mazda. Summer's in Indiana. It's a busy time for the Tom Roush Mazda family in Westfield, and it looks like a busy, crowded time for your family. Because what was once the perfect size vehicle for your family now seems like there's barely enough room just to get in the front seat. Maybe the kids grew, maybe the family grew. And there's always the 2 dogs that you said you would never get. Whatever the reason, the Tom Roush Mazda family can find that car, crossover, or SUV that grows with all your needs.
Like the 2019 Mazda CX-5, 0.9% for $60 or lease for $245 per month. And the 2019 Mazda 3 Sedan Sport, 2.9% for $60 or lease for $235 a month. All vehicles only $24.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and dock and first payment.
Take your family to see the Tom Roush Mazda family in Westfield on David Brown Drive. And before you go, take a look at us online at TomRoushMazda.com. At either place, we're the pussycat on price.
Is summer getting away from you? Kids back to school, football season started, and you still haven't gotten that exterior painting job done yet? Well, don't worry. You still have time thanks to your neighborhood CertaPro painters. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated and right here in our community. And everything looked new again after CertaPro got done at my house last month, which made the whole family very happy. And because of the great response, CertaPro Painters of Indianapolis is extending their 20th anniversary special. You get a free interior wall paint upgrade for any project completed by September 1st. Give CertaPro Painters a call for more information to get on their schedule to take advantage of this great offer before the leaves start to fall and the outdoor painting season comes to an end. The phone number is 800-GO-CERTA or go to CertaPro.com to get set up for that free estimate. And remember, CERTA is spelled with a C. So whether you're looking to upgrade the curb appeal of your home or business or just looking for a fresh coat of paint for protection from the rain, sun, mold, and bugs, CertaPro Painters is ready to go. 800-GO-CERTA or CertaPro.com. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
The Colts open preseason play in Buffalo. Coverage next Thursday at 4 on FM 107.5, The Fan. With JMV.
Can I buy you guys a drink? Guess not.
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Now, baby, let's ride. We got nothing but time.
YouTube channels where you can see me right now. I've got a little scruff going. I got some sunshine on my face, and the hair is looking spectacular. Thank you, PAI. WeGrowHairIndy.com. Somebody sent me this from Taylor Wilson at mybookie.press.gmail.com. This is legit. Anybody utilize MyBookie? Hi. I wanted to reach out and see if you'd be interested in odds favoring the Colts this season from MyBookie, a leading sports betting platform. A few keys and highlights for you, if you will. Andrew Luck's performance got better as the year went on last year. In his second year back after injury, there's an expectation that this will be an MVP year for Luck. Free agency additions and focus to defense at the draft, widely viewed that the Colts got better on both sides of the ball. Any interest? You guys want me to talk to Taylor Wilson of MyBookie? Plus 1,600 to win the Super Bowl. Plus 800 to win the AFC title. Plus 800 Luck MVP. Plus 120 to win the AFC South. MyBookie. And that thing is coming too. Legal. Hey, JMV, just another reason not to be a Cubs fan. Channel 23 or whatever is on DirecTV is no longer available when Cub games are on that channel. I couldn't watch the Brewers-Cubs game Saturday or Sunday, and I have the MLB package. It's ridiculous. Yaney. That is kind of stupid, I would agree. This whole thing is just stupid. We should pay and be able to watch and that be that, especially if you have the MLB package. It's from Neil. JMV, your station needs to demand free cable for you. I don't have cable, and I rely on you to keep me updated on sports and stuff like that. I'm trying. Daily. Right here. Yeah, listen, I didn't even know I was getting screwed, and I'm getting screwed. 23 and 8 off my DirecTV. No. TJ McConnell and Duraco coming up. Yeah, TJ McConnell, I'm going to go with the incredibly athletic and fluid TJ McConnell, not the gritty. I'm going to ask how many times he's been referenced as gritty in his life. Like everyone. And I didn't know that he went up against Archie Miller back in the day. That's good. I think he worked Archie too, right? He worked Archie, and then Archie's brother went out and brought him from Duquesne to Arizona. Duquesne. Oh, that's an inside joke. I know it's Duquesne. Duquesne. Hey, Greg's at 239-1070. Greg, hello. How are you?
How you doing today, JMV?
Greg, I couldn't be better. Thanks for asking.
Okay, well, I had that same problem. I got AT&T Universe, and they also have not carried the Cub game. So what I did, I went on Amazon and got a little $12 digital antenna, inside antenna, and got a diverter for $20. And now I was watching those Cubs games this weekend.
Look at you. Look at you working extra hard. You know what, though? You just described exactly with the amount of money that I pay why I don't do this, though. And I know what you're saying. It's that easy to do, but I should not have. We as the customer, the paying customer, should not have to do that blank. We shouldn't. Yeah. We should not have to do it. It is BS that we're forced to do it. It is. Yeah. I mean, we pay for it. We should damn straight get it.
Yep, I think if you got the package, you definitely. I don't have it, but
oh, baby, I got the package. I got the package, and I'm getting screwed over too. So yes, we should
be blocked out on that package, buddy. That's when they ripping people off. You know.
I got you, Greg. Anything else?
I just want to say, I don't know if I don't like the Cubs bullpen at all, so I don't know what's going to happen. They lousy.
That's Greg. Thank you. That's going to be the motto of the Cubs bullpen the rest of the year. The Cubs bullpen, they lousy. I like that. You bring that. You got to get that off. The Cubs bullpen, they lousy. I think I like that. Is that going to be their motto? And bring Kimbrel in. Hey, how's our guy Strope doing lately? How's Strope? Well, do guys that wear their hat cockeyed like that ever any good? I mean, who's
the best ever?
No,
player?
Fernando. Who is the reliever? And
Fernando Rodney.
Fernando Rodney had his hat cockeyed too, and he was a gas can most of the time. He was good some years. I mean, hell, everybody kept trading for him. That hat was cockeyed. Oh, 3-run jack. Strope. I don't know if I like that. I like Strope. Kind of like Khan. Star Trek with Shatner, or if I like the Cubs bullpen, they lousy. I think I like them both there. Hey, Mike Kirsch in with me on this. I sent Rafael Sanchez call 6 for help, an email last week to help out with the Channel 8 problem. At some point, man, it's all going to come around and get you. I really didn't even mean to bring that up, but somebody asked me a question about it, and I didn't even know at the time. I was getting hosed, too. I was just wondering why I'm not getting epics. Like Friday the 13th, Part 2 was on the other night, and I go, yeah, I got to watch that. Oh, can't. I don't get it. The Cubs bullpen, they lousy. I like it. Hey, Brian, before the top of the hour, what you got?
Hey, JMV, how are you?
I could not be better. Go ahead.
I'm still dying from the They Lousy. And Strope is the ringleader of They Lousy.
Strope. Pedro Strope. Yeah. He lousy. Yeah. Yes, I like it. Yes.
Sure. Hey, listen, tomorrow, I was tired of this stuff, too, because I'm always trying to work during the day and record it, fly through it. I got a TiVo coming tomorrow. Remember the old TiVos?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
So I got a TiVo coming tomorrow. I'll let you know how it goes. It's going to record 23 and 8 for me, or all those channels that we don't get anymore. I got rid of the dish a long time ago and went to YouTube TV, but they don't get 23, so they lousy.
They lousy. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, they lousy. DirecTV. I got DirecTV. They lousy. A Dish Network. They lousy. Sling. Lousy. We're paying. We are paying. We should get it. That's just it. The paying customer, you should not be prodded to have to call a number. That's their job. It's not my job to negotiate, jackasses. I mean, if you want to pay me to negotiate, I will. Take a little bit off my bill. Hashtag they lousy. I'll tell you what, that's what we need, 4 o'clock hour. I need to know hashtag they lousy, then explain. Thank you, Greg. Quick one. TJ McConnell in about 15 minutes. You'll want to hear this. I mean, you really will. And hopefully it's pouring down rain right now, and hopefully you can hear us. If not, jump on the app so you can hear it. or on YouTube right now. You can hear it and see it on YouTube if you want. Duraco in the 5, just where the Jacksonville Jaguars are following the most disappointing season in the National Football League of a year ago. Duraco in the 5. We're back with you next.
Sports with Dan Dockage.
Matt Taylor joins us. Matt's the voice of the Colts. This could be a much improved team, but damn, who you play, particularly the quarterbacks.
The Colts have to play 5 of the top 6 quarterbacks from a year ago. The Colts defense took a huge step last year. That defense is legit. What they're doing is backed up considering who they have to play.
Dan Dockage, weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122 or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Hey, it's Dan Doggett here for Family Leisure. You know how much I love my spa from Family Leisure. Guess what? It's back. That's right. America's largest spa dealer is having the world's biggest spa sale. Over 1,200 spas, 5 manufacturers, no games, no gimmick. Higher quality spas, better service, lower prices. $8,000 spas, only $49.99. $5,000 spas, only $24.99. Special financing available. Over 50 models to choose from and spas from $12.99. Nobody beats Family Leisure. Nobody.
Okay, so we're just about ready to go back to school if you're not already back to school. JMV here for the Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. Hey, let's squeeze in one final vacation or at least a bit of a staycation getaway for you in the month of August. Are you ready? Here's the deal that Tony has for you down at the Four Winds. Stay 3 nights, Sunday through Thursday, for just $199. That's $199 for 3 nights in a garden double room, or you can upgrade to a lakeside view for just $99 more. The Four Winds offers family fun with a heated indoor-outdoor pool, mini golf, boat rental, hiking trails, and so much more. This is a spectacular place to be. You will love it. So make sure that everything doesn't sell out. Get your 3-day staycation right now with the Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. 812-824-BOAT, 812-824-2628, or online, fourwindslakeside.com today.
For the extraordinary Hoosiers who grow our food, feed our minds, make us safe, and keep us free. In extraordinary celebration, your Indiana State Fair salutes Heroes in the Heartland. Presented by Indiana Donor Network. Get discount tickets till August 1st at indianastatefair.com. Heroes in the Heartland. Your Indiana State Fair. August 2nd through 18th.
Protect your wealth with a custom-made retirement plan from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors by calling 844-896-7233 and online at crownhaven.com.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Collect them, trade them, or just enjoy them.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
It's storming right now. Beech Grove, look out, it's coming at you. Irvington is rolling over you right now. Wanamaker, it's coming straight at you. Triton Central, it's coming at you. We got a small line of incredibly heavy rain where we couldn't even see across Monument Circle here downtown going into hour 2 here, but it's now gone. It has come, it is gone. So to the east side, New Pal, you're up next. We'll talk you through it. But hell, I think it's all over. A little bit of sprinklage going on right now. It's all good. Yeah, I see you, Pete, in Beach Grove. That is pouring down some rain right now. I don't know what that does. Well, I could guess, but hopefully you guys are hanging in on the FMs right now, or on the AM, or on the app, or on YouTube. Hey, listen, I don't care if you guys have to listen through a tin can. Just do it. Just give me 3 hours every day, and I will repay you. It's from Cole. Did you think Arby's beef and cheddar couldn't get any more delicious? That's outstanding. Everybody's loving it. We have the meats. Hey, JMV, I lost access to the Pacers game on Sling when they dropped Fox Sports Indiana. I'm not happy about it at all. Hashtag they lousy. Greg last hour came up with our description of what's going down in some situations. Hashtag they lousy. Cubs bullpen, they lousy. DirecTV, Dish Network, they lousy. That is so true. Hey, JMV, don't act like you forgot Brandon Phillips' act with his cockeyed hat. Oh, yeah. I completely forgot about that. I don't think he was full-time cockeyed hat, though, Yaney. He might have been part-time. He wasn't full-time cockeyed hat. Like, I don't remember him out there looking like Strope or Fernando Rodney. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that, too. You guys got to see the Hammer House Party over the weekend. I hope it was good. All right, Colts camp, they're down for the day, taking a little bit of a rest. Back at it coming up tomorrow morning. We're going over some of the things that you feel good about over the weekend, again, from practice. And it is just practice during training camp, but you still talk about what you see. And Paris Campbell was impressive this weekend. Rock Ya-Sin was impressive this weekend. And it's good. I mean, it's good for this Colts team that Quincy Wilson has finally recognized and is coming along. If you missed our conversation, Paris Campbell last week, Anthony Costanzo last week, podcast 1075thefan.com. I was also talking about this, so I had a lot of people with Drop Off Line Sports. Right before I aired on this show, I was kind of talking about, the national love, the local love, and I had some people apprehensive because there's too much love being given. Can you, as a fan of your favorite team, can you receive too much love? Too many national props, too much local. Now, a lot of you would suggest, well, the only reason the local comes in all the time is because everybody's blowing sunshine up your rear end. That's not the case. But can you get too much? Does that leave you a little bit apprehensive because so much love is coming in? Considering this time last year, it was just a little bit of hope. I mean, hell, it was a little bit of hope that your quarterback was going to come back and sustain on the field. Right? Remember the whole layered effect? Well, it's going to be this, and he's going to play in a game, and then we'll find out. Take that first hit. What was the first luck hit? Was it legit? Was it Bobby Wagner in the preseason game last year? Was that the first luck hit? We sat around for days talking about, well, when he takes that first hit, I think it was the preseason game. Was it Bobby Wagner that got him last year? I have a really big brain to remember stuff like that, so surely in the archives that's filed away somewhere. The bad news is Jabal sheared on the injury front. And there's none of this, well, at least they're deep, because you can go from feeling really good about your depth to not in a pretty quick second. I always thought he was pretty good on the team. Hopefully he's going to be able to get back. And it really kind of worries you when they're relatively vague about it. He's going to miss some time. So I always kind of take the longer view than the shorter view of he's going to miss some time. Because we're all kind of forced to interpret our view of he's going to miss some time. It seems like it's the longer side of he's going to miss some time right there. At least to me anyway. But that was the latest over the weekend, too. Everybody was pretty happy with it. They're back at it coming up tomorrow. And we shall see how things continue to move forward. A lot of you were talking about this running game too, and the expectation is that's just what they want to do. I mean, a lot of people talk about it and then don't end up doing it, but they want to be a very good upper echelon, elite level running team. Can Marlon Mack be point man with that? I think Marlon Mack can be the point man, but again, Marlon Mack's going to have to stay healthy. And I think expectation right now, nothing against Marlon, but I think expectation is at some point he's probably going to have an issue. And that's why you want to build the depth there, whether you're talking about Nyheim Hines, Jordan Wilkins, Spencer Ware, guys in that category. Josh writes this, so what do you think about McAfee being so close to signing with the Bears a couple of weeks ago? Well, I mean, actually, I was telling Kyle about this. He still, and this is just talking to him occasionally. There's still a fire that is burning. He walked away at the top of his game, so you would like to take on a challenge, and that challenge would be coming back. That wouldn't surprise me at all. And really for Pat, he's been good at whatever he has done. And I think Pat is a guy that kind of will lose interest if it becomes what? He loses interest. He needs a kind of a challenge. I think that definitely was a challenge. So, no, it doesn't surprise me at all, to be honest with you. So, I think, in fact, when I've talked to him a couple of times, we always joke about, so how long is it going to be before you want to try this again? It just kind of comes with the territory. And these guys just think differently than we do, too. If you've played at that level, you just think differently. So you just don't feel satisfied. So, no, that didn't surprise me at all. Zero. JMV, Uverse doesn't have NFL Network, #they lousy. God. So there's really nothing good out there, is there? Does PlayStation Uverse get it done then? That's what somebody tells me. It's quite the pain. Hey, the other thing I talked about at the top of the show is also, I think, painful for everybody. And I wish it would stop. Unfortunately, I think we all know we're in an era where it's only going to escalate. Two things. One is being critical, especially nationally, of Jim Irsay, quote, putting a target on his team's back by comparing it to the Manning era, by believing it should be so good. What people don't know nationally that would have something negative to say about that or be critical of that would be that's the expectation of people around here. So Jim saying that as an owner, all he's doing is saying what I think most Colts fans believe should be happening anyway. And also with Jim would probably say that even if fans didn't think that. And the final aspect of it is you often want everybody that is interviewed to be non-vanilla and to be outgoing and to be open. And in the moment that they are, you just got to crap on it. It's just like with the Trevor Bauer apology. All right, maybe you shouldn't turn and chuck the ball into the stands when you're mad as your skipper is coming out to the mound. But he gave you about a minute-long apology about it that was very sincere. So over. Done. You don't need to break down the apology. Well, I don't know if that's going to be good enough. No, it was plenty good enough. The dude apologized like he was getting ready to go to jail for about 10 years. It is enough. The sincerity was there. See, that's what drives me nuts. Oh, we got to have an apology. Well, you get the apology. Well, that's not good enough. Well, what is going to be good enough, jackass? What's going to be good enough? In your social media court of social media opinion, what's going to be enough? I think the answer to that is nothing ever will be completely. Somebody's always going to find something wrong with it. Because, Greg, They lousy. That is so true. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Trevor Bauer, and I know he's been a loose cannon, had issues in the past, but dude spent 60 seconds, 90 seconds apologizing. It's enough. Hell, I'll be completely honest with you. I stinking cheered when Rob Dibble did that in the day. I thought that was great. Yeah. Thought it was great. Yeah, no, LeBron James. Can you imagine for a moment, and I get it being a dad and being excited. Can you imagine if one of the clown dads that you see at a AAU tournament or somewhere ran out on the floor and got in the layup line? And I know that LeBron is different than average clown dad, but I'm sorry, that's clown dad act. That's what that is. Like, if I'm going to run out and get into the layup line with Laney and a bunch of 9 or 8-year-old girls, I'm a clown dad. That's a clown dad thing. And it really doesn't matter that he's arguably one of the best, maybe the best still player in the world. It's still a clown dad act. Hey, hold on a second. I'm going to run out there and get in the layup line with my daughter. Wait a minute. You imagine? Anybody ever been in an AAU event when the dad ran out there and got in the layup line with the kids? Again, he's LeBron James, but still. And fantasy football. Fantasy football, we got to get that started. We just don't know exactly what we're going to go. We're going to go with everybody or if we're going to go with a select few. Everybody would be easier, but a select few might be more enjoyable. But unfortunately, with a select few, you always get that person or people that don't start out well, that kind of give up on it. We can't have you giving up on it. We got to have everybody staying engaged. Yeah, I think at the next game, I'm just going to run out there and get in the layup line with 9-year-old girls. That's great. You imagine what I'd be called? Look at that jackass out there. Well, that's exactly what LeBron... Look at that jackass out there. That's appropriate for LeBron James or me or you or anybody. You don't need to be in the layup line with your kids. That's not hard to understand. Well, I think one play, didn't he run out there? He ran out there to try to... I don't know what he was doing. He lost his shoe on the floor.
He lost his shoe, and then they had to stop the game because he couldn't grab it.
Hold on a second. LeBron's shoe's out here loose on the floor. See, that's clown dad stuff. That's stuff we want to get away from. And it doesn't matter who's doing it. Me, you, LeBron. I mean, it just makes you crazy-ass dad. Don't be crazy-ass dad. Be supportive dad. I know it's hard. Hey, JMV, I heard you talking about the Bloomington Speedway on Friday. That was incredible. Those guys driving those cars are nuts. Did you see that thing flip about 5 times and then land in the bed of somebody's truck? Somebody that was just watching it that was parked, like in the parking lot. Somebody that probably said, you know what, I'm behind this fence. I'm far enough away where nothing's going to happen. Probably thinking that maybe dirt or maybe a rock or something was going to be thrown his direction. Not thinking a car was going to tumble there and land in the bed of his truck. Let me see if I can find that too. Somebody had tweeted me that picture. Here it is. Thank you, Justin Payne from Bloomington Speedway. There is some major bed damage going on right there. I just think, yeah, you know what? I'm far enough away. I'll be right. I'll be fine right here. What a great parking spot. And that thing lands right in the back. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline right now, brand new to the Pacers as of today, formerly of the Philadelphia 76ers, TJ McConnell joins us. Hey, TJ, thanks for coming on, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Thanks for hopping on here. I appreciate it. I'm kind of curious. When did you find out that maybe the Pacers and Indianapolis might be in your career NBA future?
So I think it was around July 2nd. Me and my wife and her family were out to dinner, and my agent calls me and says, the Pacers have reached out, and we'll let you know if anything further happens. And then the next day, it's funny, I was just about to take a nap because the free agency was stressing me out, and he said that this is what the Pacers are offering, and I jumped right on it. It's a great opportunity.
So TJ McConnell of the Pacers, he's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Listen, I've not been through this, so I don't know, so I'm going to ask you. It has to be a little bit bittersweet because you've been through really tough times, and then Philadelphia, it looks like they're getting right there, and then you change teams. So as happy as you are coming here, it's probably a little bit bittersweet leaving a place where you've evolved as an NBA-level player.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously grateful for the time I spent in Philly and wish them nothing but the best, but also very excited for the new opportunity ahead of me and ahead of our team. I think we have a great group of guys and added a lot of good pieces this summer, and I think we can do something special.
What you think about the Pacers before, obviously, you got the link to being a part of this team now?
Yeah, I've always had a lot of respect for how they played. And Nate does a great job, and Nate and his staff do a great job with the players and the way they play. They play the right way, they play hard, and I think I fit right in.
So TJ McConnell's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So where do you feel right now? I don't know if you've had conversations just yet, but where do you feel you do fit in on this team? Because you're right. I mean, they need somebody like you, certainly as I think a leveling presence. But where do you think you fit in going into this year?
I'm just getting people the ball on offense, being a pest on defense, and most importantly, a great teammate and a great locker room guy. I know that Kevin and his staff and Nate have brought in great people and have great people in the locker room, and I think that's most important. Just being a good presence in the locker room and working my butt off every day.
So TJ McConnell with us. I also have to ask you this: are you the final piece that was a part of a 10-win season years ago in Philly to leave now? Is that you?
Yeah, I was the last that played. Joel was there, but I was the last, they call it process player.
What did you think of the process while you were a part, clearly, here of the process?
Being a part of it, you knew what you wanted to do in the future, and the kind of the writing was on the wall. It just didn't have good enough players to win. And you knew you were building for the future, so you kind of took a short-term L for a long-term W.
It's weird because when you consider you won 10 games in a season, what is that like? That's over a month or so, isn't it? That's a long time,
yeah.
And you're a winning dude. I mean, hell, to get to that level, you win on every level. That had to suck a lot getting through that.
Yep, you pretty much nailed it. It was brutal, but I wasn't. My rookie year, I wasn't supposed to be in the NBA, and I was just taking everything in and working my butt off, and just trying to maintain and stay in the league. And obviously, I've done that, but the 10-win season, I think we won our first game. We were 1-19, so that is not a good start.
No, and that was it tough to go to just show up. I know you're all business, you're professional, whatever, but still, though, is it tough to go knowing that the odds are so far stacked against you as they were in that season? Was it difficult?
Yeah, it was. Obviously, you mean leaving Philly? Yeah.
But a place where you evolved into the player that you are, and obviously a player that somebody has wanted as Kevin and the gang reached out to you and brought you here.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, being in a place for 4 years doesn't seem like that much.
Yeah.
But in the NBA, I think if you're in a place for 4 years, you're doing something right. and you start to fall in love with a place. And I know my wife really is going to miss it. She's made a lot of friends there, but we'll make new ones here, and already starting to love the city as I've been here in this short time.
You will. You'll like it here because people here love basketball. I mean, you came collegiately from a place, obviously playing for Sean Miller, that loved basketball down in Tucson after you went there from Duquesne. And, it's from college to NBA here. Folks love basketball as well. Now, obviously, you're coached by Sean Miller in Tucson. Did you know Archie Miller at all? Because I think that's before Archie got there. You were gone, right?
Yeah, so I actually played against Archie when he was at Dayton and I was at Duquesne. So I know him pretty well, and he's an awesome guy and an amazing coach.
How'd you do against him when you played Dayton?
I honestly, I thought I did pretty well because I think if I didn't, I don't think Sean would have recruited me.
So you work over his brother, and then you get recruited by his older brother.
Absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense. It's TJ McConnell with us. A couple more things, and I'll let you go. Do you ever get tired of being called gritty?
No. I mean, I think it's a word for someone that plays hard, and that's what I do. I'm not going to be mad at people saying the truth. I guess gritty is a great thing.
Hey, what if I called you fluid this year? Hey, just fluid. I'm going to call you fluid. I mean, you can be called fluid. I mean, you don't get to the NBA level, TJ, without being fluid. At some level.
I completely agree. People can say whatever they want, but as long as our team's playing well and winning, they can call me gritty, fluid, whatever you guys want.
How many times have you heard gritty in your life, honestly?
A lot. I would. I don't even know. I don't have a number.
Yeah. Good.
To tell you, it's been so many times.
Gritty, gutty, great. I mean, you don't get to the NBA level for being gritty and gutty and being a great passer. I mean, clearly you have a lot in your arsenal to get here. All right, TJ McConnell. Final thing before I let you go. Is there a story out there? Because people around here love the film Hoosiers. It goes way back, but they love the film Hoosiers. Is there a story out there that you have regarding Ollie of Hoosiers? Is there a story you can tell us?
Yeah, it's really good. So we're in Denver playing the Nuggets, and a guy that worked for the Sixers, his name's Alan Lumpkin. Anyone can reach out to him and ask him about this story because I've never seen a human being laugh so hard in my life. I think I checked into the game, and one of the fans from Denver was like, "Hey, everyone, look, it's Ollie from Hoosiers." And I just lost my mind. I was laughing so hard, and I look at the bench, and Alan, the guy that worked for the Sixers, was keeled over. His face was about as red as could be.
Well, it's funny because I know Ollie from Hoosiers. His name's Wade Skank, and he actually grew up in southern Indiana, near where I did. And that's fun. That makes it even more hilarious. It's right there that you got called that. But, man, I mean, Ollie knocked down a couple of free throws and sent him to the state finals. So, I mean, hell, that's a good comparison right there. Well done.
He was really gritty.
He was really gritty. But you know what? I'm not going to call you that. And I got a personal connection with Chris Denari, television voice of the Pacers, and I'm going to have him reference you as athletically gifted and fluid.
I love that already.
No, I mean, seriously. I mean, compared to the rest of the world, I mean, maybe not compared to, Antetokounmpo or somebody like that, but I mean, compared to the rest of the world, compared to me, you're athletically gifted and fluid, man. So I'm proud of that.
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna pump that with Chris Denari, but congratulations on being here, and thanks for popping on today. And it is with us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. It is the athletically gifted and fluid TJ McConnell, the newest member of the Pacers, with us. Hey, it's a pleasure, my friend. Acclimate well, enjoy Indy, and we'll watch you hoop a lot this season. Thank you.
Thank you Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast.
Gotcha. TJ McConnell's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Hey, look, it's Ollie from Hoosiers going in the game. I don't know if you're listening out there, Denary, right now, but we're going to go with the athletically gifted and fluid. No more gritty. No more gritty, no more gutty, no more great passing ability. Floor general sees the floor well. Great basketball mental capacity. No more of that. It is the athletically gifted and fluid TJ McConnell. New pacer on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Quick break. We're back on the other side. We'll get into the AFC South. Mike Duraco, who covers the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of people down there think the Jaguars are going to end up being the biggest challenge for the Colts within the AFC South this season. We'll get the latest on the quarterback change and the new thoughts. And they're saying all the right things. Jalen Ramsey, Leonard Fournette, Mike Duraco is going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour to give us a breakdown and more. Back with you next.
This is the Colts Review on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. Live from the Power Home Solar Radio Studio. Here's the voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor.
Welcome to the Colts Review, proudly presented by First Financial Bank, member FDIC. At First Financial Bank, we go beyond banking by putting you first. Learn more at bankatfirst.com. Believe it or not, the Colts are a quarter of the way done already with training camp at Grand Park in Westfield, which is powered by Carano. The Colts were off today, but they'll be back to work tomorrow morning, and the defensive position battles are heating up, including the one at corner. One guy who's off to a great start to camp is Quincy Wilson. He's changed his body dramatically, and we'll hear from defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus on Quincy's play so far in just a moment.
As a fan, you know what it means to believe in something, to truly support and get behind it, to be committed and invested in making sure your team succeeds. At First Financial Bank, your success is our success. When you share your goals with us, our local team will help you realize all the possibilities for achieving them. We provide a personalized experience you won't find anywhere else. Because as your number one fan, we put your success first. First Financial Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at bankatfirst.com.
Last season, Quincy Wilson really turned it on in the second half of the season. He became a mainstay on defense in the nickel package as an outside corner. This spring, Quincy trimmed his weight down to about 192 pounds and cut his body fat in half down to 7%. He's a smart football player. He's matured the last few years, and now he looks and feels the best he has since being drafted by the Colts in 2017. And his defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, has taken notice as well.
Quincy's done a really good job with his conditioning. You know, he's changed his body considerably in terms of his lean mass and his body fat, and he's looking the best he's looked. He's done a nice job so far this spring, and he's competing his tail off here this fall.
And other guys competing for time at corner, you've got Nate Hairston, who's made some nice plays so far in practice, Jalen Collins, Marvel Tell, and Chris Milton, just to name a few. So the competition heats back up tomorrow at Grand Park. And that's it for the Colts Review, proudly presented by First Financial Bank. Member FDIC. At First Financial Bank, we go beyond banking by putting you first. Learn more at bankatfirst.com.
You know you work well together as a team. Now take your team to Royal Pen and make your next corporate event fun and affordable. Royal Pen Leisure Centers offer the perfect combination of food and fun for your next group event. At Royal Pen, you don't have to be a super athlete to have a blast. Everyone's on the team when you're bowling. Bowling is a fun, affordable way to socialize and compete with your colleagues. Create team spirit without meetings, reports, or deadlines. Just good times. And keep in mind, it's always cool in our non-smoking facilities. To get the ball rolling, call Royal Pen today at 465-8484 and we'll organize your next corporate event. Get ready to trade in your wingtips and heels for a pair of bowling shoes and have fun bowling.
Set them up, knock them down, send them flying, spinning round.
For more information, call 465-8484 or look us up at royalpen.com.
Royal Pen, bowling, bowling.
At 1 Hour, we stand behind our work, and I mean for years. Hi, I'm Corey Kreitzberger from 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. If our repair fails in the first 2 years, we'll fix it again for free. Who else can say that? We gladly guarantee our repairs because we know the care that goes into them. Call us at 844-1-HOUR. That's 844-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-HOUR.
Terms and conditions apply. License number H0010668.
Hoosier fans, Indiana football tickets are on sale now for the 2019 season. IU football hosts 6 home games this fall, including matchups against Big Ten East rivals, the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan Wolverines. Fans can purchase single-game tickets as low as $20 and $200 for season tickets. For complete ticket information, visit IUHoosiers.com today. Go IU!
For years, the golfers of Hamilton County and Central Indiana have enjoyed Carmel's only city-owned public course, Brookshire Golf Club. If you haven't played at Brookshire lately, it's time you give it another look. The beautiful new clubhouse and pro shop are now open. The Brookshire Clubhouse features a beautiful event space for meetings, weddings, and other special gatherings, and the pro shop and cafe is a must-see. Season passes at Brookshire are available now, starting at just $1,000 for an executive pass. Brookshire Golf Club, Carmel. Book your tee time today.
Hey, it's Dan Doggett here for Stevie Hadaway Insurance. Did you know that life insurance is the best way to give tax-free money to family and friends? It's the best way to give it to your favorite charities, nonprofit organizations, or your high school or college alma mater. Don't put off buying life insurance protection for another day. Give Mike Steffi and his team at Steffi Hadaway Insurance a call, 317-334-3743 today, or shiagency.com, and tell them Dan Dockett sent you.
Wouldn't you like to have a nice, relaxing camping trip about now? Well, it's not that kind of camping trip. The Colts 2019 season starts in Westfield as the players move in for training camp. Let's go! And the Fan has you covered. Daily updates on air and online. The road to the Super Bowl begins in the long, hot summer.
Run down the field on them!
Colts training camp on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
We've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
TJ McConnell podcast. 1075thefan.com. He was a part of a 10-win team. And that was during the entire process thing. And in Philly, they were going process this and process that. And then thought maybe you're going away from it. And, now obviously they're pretty happy with the outcome there with Elton Brand running the show. But, yeah, 10-win team. Back in the day. Now, was, help me out here. Is the dude they just signed last week, Sampson, was he on that team too?
Yeah, they play on that team together.
They were both on that 10-win team together in Philly. So I thought that was the case. I want to make sure that was the case. But you need, on this roster, you need somebody to be able to be relied upon in guard roles here, because what we talk about with the Pacers so far in the offseason is that a lot of things have to happen that I think you probably are apprehensive about believing. Some guys are going to have to step up that haven't had to step up. And you know what? If you have some issues at that guard position coming off the bench, there's something that you have felt solid in. And the other thing about it is, if you were to ask Philadelphia people this, they didn't want to lose him. They did not want to lose him at all. And the Hoosier story is pretty funny, too. I was on yesterday, like on MGM, the MGM channel on DirecTV. I always laugh because David Anspaugh, the director, had told me, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, you've probably seen Hoosiers enough to remember it, but it was the point where they're going through all of a sudden, Jimmy helped save Hackman's job and Norman Dale, and now all the Pistons are firing when they go on that winning streak, and we're going to be a tough team to beat. And they started showing all the highlights of different games, in about a 2-minute span. There's one point where Hackman and Hopper are on the bench, and Hackman says something to Hopper, and he kind of leans over and starts laughing. Well, you remember David Anspaugh was on this show and said what was funny about that is it was in an outtake, and Hackman said to Hopper, I hope that you spend your money wisely or invest your money wisely because this isn't going to make a dime. So when you're watching that and you see that particular moment or that scene, think about it. I hope you invested wisely because this movie isn't going to make a dime. And then Hopper bends over and starts laughing, which was pretty funny. It's from Brett, JMV. Warn listeners driving home that Indiana drivers or Indy drivers are the worst in the rain at least 30 minutes to your commute. I mean, everything's closed. How are you getting around if everything's closed? And I mean, everything is closed, seemingly. Hey, JMV, this is from Tanner. Go with PS View. It's got everything you need. Local channels, all the sports you can hope for. Now, movie channels, things like that, too. Got to have everything. JMV regarding dads. If you or I get into a 9-year-old girl layup line, we get drug tested on the spot, Matt and Avon. I mean, think about that for a moment. Think about if you're in an AAU game or an event and the dad gets out there and starts running in a layup line with the kids. I mean, the law is getting called. I mean, it's the same for everybody. He's a dad, you're a dad, I'm a dad, we're all a dad. That's just overbearing knucklehead dad right there. And it's LeBron James. We all love our kids. I'm sure he loves his kid as much. You don't get out in the damn layup line. You can get excited and all, but you don't get in the layup line. Anybody out there ever go to an AAU event with your kid and ever get out there in the layup line? Now, none of you probably have gone to an AAU event where you could get out there and put on a dunk show of any kind. But anybody ever got out in the layup line before a game with your kids? Hell, even if the coach did that, we'd make fun of it. So I think we can make fun of it here. Yeah, Greg is right. I bet McConnell plays a ton. I bet he does play a ton. Because I think we are all well aware that maybe Aaron Holiday is not going to be able to hold it down in the capacity in which TJ McConnell can. I think you may look at this and go, man, that was kind of late in the game in the summer, but I'm glad that they did it. That's going to come out as, I think, one of those types of signings. You know, it's funny because it was reported or rumored, hell, almost a month ago is what it felt like. Not quite a month ago. But it was rumored at least 3 weeks ago, and then it just happened, finally set in stone today. Yeah, see, I wasn't going to bring it up, and I know that you guys want me to bring it up, and I don't want to. But I know, yeah, Paul George was talking like that OKC was cool with him bailing. He just wants to feel good about himself. He don't want anybody to feel bad about him. And listen, I think that's a common trait. That's a common trait. You don't want anybody that you want to be liked. Most people out there do want to be liked unless you're just a huge jackass. So he wants to be liked. But I don't want to get into it, though. Because I get into it, then I get a bunch of emails saying, well, you're getting into it. Somebody asked. And so I'll respond to it. The dude has always wanted to be liked. And again, this everybody else, most people want to be liked. Hey, JMV, one other observation from Colts camp. Holy crap, is Funchess a huge dude? TV does not do the guy justice. Luck is so accurate. Unlike Cam Newton, and I expect to see Funchess be a huge red zone target. And they're expecting that. He's expecting that too. And he's expecting this to be a big year so he could get a longer-term deal. I mean, 1 year deal-wise, you bet on yourself with this offense. You bet on yourself putting up big numbers and, being a highly coveted wide receiver next year. But he is a big guy. There's no mistaking that. JMV, I completely agree. The Trevor Bauer apology was enough. Why is it that people feel compelled to have to analyze or critique the apology? You guys almost had me saying impology. It's because that's what people do. It's what people do. It's where we are. Oh, yeah, well, you should have apologized, but that wasn't good enough. Oh, yeah, we want you to be unfiltered. We want you to be incredibly open, non-vanilla in what you say. But when you say it, we want to be critical of that because you just put a target on your team's back. Believe me this, and Mike Tannenbaum, who's at ESPN, should know this. The ESPN folks were the first, even before people around here. If there is a so-called target on this Colts team's back this year, and it's way too early, right? Way too early to have that large of a target on your back. ESPN, they were the first to put it there, if you really want to get down to it. I mean, Jim didn't have to get up in front of the media to say that because we knew that that's how Jim thought. Basically, Jim feels that way about any team. But this one, comparing it to, the golden era of football here, takes it up a level. But that's how he always thinks. Now, as national folks have placed that target there first, it's silly. I mean, either it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. You're going to get lucky. Schedule's going to be tough. I mean, we've gone through all this right now. But just get a non-vanilla answer to your question. And then you just have to crap all over it. That's just nuts. All right, quick one. We'll come back. DeRocco's at the top of the hour from ESPN.com. He writes regarding the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have a number of questions because most people believe if the Colts aren't going to be the winner of the AFC South, the Jaguars will. The most disappointing team in the NFL a year ago. They got some making up to do, but, man, they are talented from top to bottom. We'll talk about the change of quarterback, the whole change in mental approach, especially in the defensive side of that locker room, and more with DeRocco at the top of the hour. I got stuff to give away, too. I'll explain next.
Listen to The Ride with JMV this week for your chance to win tickets to see Korn and Alice in Chains August 20th at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. Details online now, 1075thefan.com.
We're all trying to get in a little bit better shape these days. Some of us use the weight room, some like to run and hike, while others play the sports we love. But unfortunately, almost all of us will end up with some kind of ailment from trying to stay fit, and that's where Franciscan Health Orthopedics comes in. They'll fix what ails you so you can stay active. Again, it's okay to push yourself, but sometimes we go too far. And when that happens, the orthopedic experts at Franciscan Health are there for you. From sprains and tears to fractures and dislocations, they'll get you back in the game. Franciscan Health Orthopedics, inspiring health.
Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. His name is Tony down there. I want you to get with Tony about this deal because Tony wanted me to tell you about that one final vacation that you can transform into a staycation before school is officially underway, before you get back to the normal grind of kids and school and all that. Here's your great deal. A 3-night, Sunday through Thursday staycation for $199. That is a garden double room. Now you can upgrade to a lakeside for $99 more, but it is all the fun. A great staycation where you don't have to go very far, but you can relax and get ready for the long months ahead and getting back to the grind. Thanks to the Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. Of course, an indoor-outdoor pool, mini golf, boat rental, hiking trail, so much more. Four Winds right now. 812-824-BOAT. Tell Tony that I sent you. 812-824-2628. Make sure you book a room before they're sold out. 812-824-BOAT or online, fourwindslakeside.com.
You thought the beef and cheddar couldn't get any more delicious. And then Arby's added bacon to it. And you thought, okay, but it can't get any better than that. And then Arby's made them 2 for $6. And then you thought, okay, but no, it can't get any better than that. And you were right. The bacon, beef, and cheddar, 2 for $6. Arby's, we have the meats.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
Call Crown Haven Wealth Advisors for your custom retirement plan at 844-896-7233 and online at crownhaven.com.
Hey, join me tomorrow. We're going to talk Colts, and more Colts with Mike Chappell. Also going to react to McAfee was going back to the NFL if he had not hurt his knee. Interesting. Join us.
It's The Ride with JMV.
For Christ's sakes, will you cover yourself?
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Well, Trevor Bauer, when he was taken out of the game, turned and I don't know where he threw that ball.
Well, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I know one thing. This skipper is not happy with that.
That's Fox Sports Ohio or Northern Ohio or Cleveland or whatever with the Indians right there. Or was that Kansas City? One of the two you just heard it from, and that was Trevor Bauer throwing the ball into the stands after a bad inning. And as his manager approached the mound, we were talking about earlier about the apology. He tried to apologize to Francona while he was walking off the mound. Yeah, Francona just kind of dropped a couple of F-bombs on him and told him to get to the bench. See, a lot of you are ripping me right now, too. And I saw this, and Kyle reminded me of this, because I would not allow my kids to play Fortnite. I said, nope, no Fortnite. And you go, oh, man, that's a bad dad. Let him play Fortnite. I go, no, bad habits. Lay around, do nothing but play Fortnite. And then I saw this yesterday, and then Kyle reminded me of it. In the World Cup of Fortnite, which apparently is such a thing, the World Cup of Fortnite, some 16-year-old won $3 million in the World Cup of Fortnite. Isn't that the first annual World Cup of Fortnite? That is a pretty big deal right there. $3 million.
I think you got to get Blake a trainer now.
For Fortnite
they got those Fortnite personal trainers. I think Blake needs one.
16 years of age, $3 million. Fortnite. So does that... Dads out there, if you've ever gone and said, hey, kids, you know what? This is not doing you any good. It's rotting your brain. I mean, does this kind of screw us over here? Because now their retort can be, well, listen, this other nerd just won $3 million doing it. That's what I say to Blake all the time. Hey, nerd, get off. Hey, nerd. Second place paid $1.6 million. You don't even have to. If I were 16 years old and I just got handed $3 million, what would I do? What would I do? So, yeah, I guess I got to let the kid do Fortnite. Is there like an imaging video, a training video out there, kind of like Rocky IV? With background music. The event gave away $30 million in cash prizes. $30 million for Fortnite. And see, they never had any of this stuff for us. There might have been contests, but nothing at this level. Like a Donkey Kong or Galaga. Double Dragon. The worst video game of all time, Dragon's Lair. Fifth place got $900,000. The kid that won $900,000 was 13 years old from Argentina. I guess I got to get him training then. I can't walk in any longer. Hey, you know what? Get off of that because it's going to rot your brain, going to make you lazy. Well, wait a minute. Some kid just won $3 million. They just had a contest, and they gave away $30 million in cash prizes. That is absurd. JMV, 100% agree with you. My 27-year-old is still hooked on Halo. It's not healthy. But I didn't have the argument now. I mean, they're training maybe to win $5 million. That's incredible. I saw that yesterday. The World Cup of Fortnite. How much money is that game bringing in? And who was the sponsor of that? Do you know? How'd they get $30 million together for the World Cup of Fortnite? And I'm telling you, I'm late on this one. 16 years old. $3 million. JMV, did you see the video on Tony Stewart punching that guy who was getting after him? On one hand, I would say, well, that guy probably deserved it. I'm sure the guy deserved it. But on the other hand, that's just kind of Tony Stewart. I mean, I guess that guy gave him the finger, too, because Tony Stewart in that video gave him the finger back and then actually chased him. The guy started running, and then Tony Stewart chased him down and threw a lefty hook at him or something. Oh, classic. Yeah, I doubt if that ever goes away. Jay Ryan says, I can help train in Fortnite. I'm not good and they only play when I'm drinking. Let me know. That doesn't sound like a good training session right there. Chris says the best of Fortnite World Cup was the oldest finisher. Said didn't know if he was invested or gambling at all. Ask R. We can gamble on the World Cup of Fortnite. Hadley writes this. I believe Fred Savage was in a movie called The Wiz. His little brother went to Mario 3 competition. I never remember having any $30 million in cash prizes from that crap. BT with this. The Pirates announcers are in Cincy for a set. Want to drive down and throw at them? I mean, which one's the TV or they're all whiners, aren't they? I mean, you got to play the game of baseball at the major league level according to what the Pirate announcers want it to be played. You can't do this. You need the unwritten rules according to Pittsburgh Pirate announcers. So clearly in the fourth inning, if you steal two bases because, the guy on the mound doesn't care, then that's the wrong thing to do while you're up 7 or 8. Now, notwithstanding in a league, and if you watched the Yankees and the Twins last week, I mean, if you watched any game, you watched the Reds earlier this year, gag up a 7-8 run lead. You think these guys swinging and hitting this glorified Titleist? There's no lead that's safe. Or at least, listen, if you're a manager that plays it that way, then you're probably a manager that's going to lose. If they're going to give you a base, you take it. I'd agree, though. I think it's both radio and TV, right? Where they just whine about everything. And one guy's Bob Walk. And I can't remember the other guy. Yeah, we got to play baseball according to Pirate announcers. Here are unwritten rules, and you should abide by them. Ridiculous. JMV, Dragon's Lair. Isn't it Dragon Slayer? No, it's Dragon's Lair. It was that cartoon video game that just ate your quarters. It's the first one I can remember where you had to pay 50 cents instead of 25. Just a complete screw job. I mean, you listen, your second quarter would not hit the bottom of the dispenser and your game is over. I mean, it's a click, done. A few things in this world, like Rick Pitino had more standing power than that. He had more stamina than ever anybody on Dragon's Lair. Seriously, it's done. You put that second quarter in and it's over. But yeah, I can't say Fortnite is not going to work for you, Blake, any longer because $3 million and you're 16. I'd take it. I'd have bought a 1984 Pontiac Fiero. I'd have bought a 1983 Chevy Camaro Berlinetta. What is the Chevy Camaro Berlinetta? It was like a 4-speed in a Camaro, I think, back then, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. All right, Colts camp this weekend was good. They're off today, by the way. They get back at it coming up tomorrow morning. Paris Campbell last week, if you missed him right here, you can find it on 1075thefan.com if you want to. He was really good talking about how he is acclimating and his responsibilities so far. And he had, I believe, digested 85% of the playbook offensively as of last Thursday. 85%. Rock Ya-Sin had a nice weekend. Quincy Wilson's had a nice camp so far. And we'll continue to monitor Jabal Sheard because I don't like that story at all. I do not like it at all. One of the worst stories in the NFL a year ago was down in Jacksonville. There was fighting. There was infighting. There was coach and team fighting. It just was a lot of bad stuff for a team that had gone to an AFC title game prior to and was expected to challenge for a spot in the Super Bowl. Most disappointing team in the NFL a year ago. Mike Duraco writes for ESPN.com. Let's get a nice little thumbnail sketch of the Jacksonville Jaguars coming up live from Jacksonville. Other side with you next.
Sports with Dan Dockage.
And Anthony Costanzo nice enough to join us. Why have you been so durable?
I don't really ever think of any time as the off season. I'm constantly working on my body. I'm constantly trying to find where my weaknesses are to make sure that I don't have any glaring weaknesses that could either happen to me with an injury or an opponent could take advantage of. I just am constantly working on my body. I think that's why I've been able to be as durable as I have.
Dan Dockage, weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Let's get you in a new ride. Who out there? Show of hands. I can see you. I can see you through the camera right here. Yeah, look, if you're watching on YouTube, I can see you. You didn't know that, did you? I can see the show of hands that want a new ride, and I can point you in the best possible direction. Andy Moore Toyota in Avon, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36, because my guys over there are going to give you great deals. Ben Mendoza is the best at making sure you have the best car buying experience possible and that you get into the ride that you want. Car, truck, or van, let me tell you, Andy Moore Toyota has something for you. So check it out online at andymoretoyota.com and see some of these great deals on incredible rides like the Camry, the Corolla, or right now, one of the most popular out there is the RAV4. Have you checked that out for an SUV? If you haven't, maybe you should. No, maybe about it. You should at andymoretoyota.com. Or tell Ben, tell Robert and the gang that I sent you. 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
An effective defense often hinges on sophisticated strategies relating to income tax projections, business valuations, spousal support claims. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122, or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
Four Winds Lakeside Inner Marina. Let's have a little party down there. Well, for sure, we're going to have one coming up on Labor Day weekend, that Friday. But we're talking about you and the family right now. You're trying to squeeze out, the last possible couple of days before you get back to the normal grind here. And here's what you can do with a staycation. Four Winds Lakeside Inner Marina and a 3-night Sunday through Thursday stay for just $199 for a garden double room, or you can upgrade to a lakeside room for just $99 more. I love the Four Winds in Lake Monroe down there. You'll love the Windjammer Bar and Grill, by the way, too. I promise you that. Entertainment for everybody. Indoor, outdoor, pool, mini golf. You get hiking trails, boat rental, all at Lake Monroe and all at the Four Winds Lakeside Inner Marina. Call for Tony right now because they're going to book this thing solid, and I don't want you to be left out. 812-824-BOAT. Did you get it? 812-824-BOAT. 812-824-2622. 2828 or online right now and tell them JMV sent you. FourWindsLakeside.com.
As a small business owner, when was the last time you considered switching internet providers?
I don't even remember. Running a business keeps me pretty busy.
Let's compare your current provider to Comcast Business. Are you getting fast, reliable internet?
Sometimes.
How about a full suite of innovative services like separate Wi-Fi networks, 4G wireless backup, and advanced voice solutions?
I highly doubt it.
Sounds like Comcast Business could give you more. Make the switch to the nation's largest gig speed network now and get an amazing deal. Right now, get fast 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and autopay. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Monthly service charge increases by $10 without paperless billing and autopay. Offer ends 8/21/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra subject to change. Backup limited to up to 8 hours.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Red Sox, Yankees, Sunday Night Baseball. The coverage begins at 6 on FM 107.5, The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
2, you always call the shots. Kiss me. You won't regret it.
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
I'll leave this here just for a second before we get to Rocco on here. I love this part of the song. I like that. You guys get my Camaro Berlinetta package? Shout right there, huh? You're welcome. So Michael, I seriously laughed out loud when you said Berlinetta. Wasn't that supposed to be... I thought that was supposed to be for the ladies back then. I think also it had... The Berlinetta package back then had one of these... kind of like a Blaupunkt stereo thing where it would like stick out on a neck, the stereo would, and you could move it from driver's side view to passenger side view. Like a Blaupunkt. I knew you guys would like that one. TJ McConnell, The Paces, a little bit earlier. Podcast you can find at 1075thefan.com. Darius Rucker, the 25th anniversary of Cracked Rear View. And Hootie and the Blowfish will be in town, I think, coming up in August, right? And Darius Rucker is going to join us coming up tomorrow on the show, too. Phil Steele later on this week. And Dan Orlovsky will join us coming up on Wednesday. So we are busy around here on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, ESPN.com. He covers the Jacksonville Jaguars, knows all. So we go with him to find out what is really going on up to this point. And Mike DeRocco joins us. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Great. So last year, can they go from most disappointing to most improved from one season to the next down in Jacksonville?
I don't know about most improved, but they should be improved. Just the addition of Nick Foles should make this a 500 team, to be honest with you. That offense at the end of the season was non-functional, just 2 touchdowns, 2 offensive touchdowns in their last 5 games. It was painful to watch. And Bortles obviously was not the answer. And Foles' significant upgrade in terms of his consistency, his accuracy, and this new offense is going to go down the field a little bit more. So I don't think this offense is going to be the worst in the league again. I think it'll be a functioning offense. I'm not sure how good it's going to be, but they should be a 500 team with just the addition of Foles over Bortles.
Are they going to be a functioning locker room? Because they certainly weren't that last year.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I think that Foles impacts that not only from the standpoint of the offense, but that defense knew going out there the second half of that season, they gave up 7-10 points. They got no shot. I mean, they beat the Colts 6-0. That offense that day was horrific, but they still managed to get the win because the defense played lights out. And you know, that's no way to play. You can't walk out there knowing that you have no margin for error, and that's the way the defense had to play, and that led to some crankiness in the locker room. So I think that having an offense that works, that can score points, that can actually put up some big plays now and then, and isn't rolling out 3 and outs 4 or 5 possessions in a row, that'll help that defense, and I think there'll be some a little bit more harmony in the locker room because of it.
So Mike Duraco of ESPN.com covers the Jaguars. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, and it's noted that Tom Coughlin is probably one of the red assier, if I shall say this, red assier people of all time in the NFL. How often do you think he rolls his eyes with the antics and trying to deal with this era of NFL player? Is it like constant? Is it hour by hour, minute by minute, what?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that he probably has no patience for. The Jalen Ramsey entrance the other day, not among his most favorite things that happened that day. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, he stays pretty much out of the locker room. But yeah, I mean, it's a totally different generation. Even when he first started coaching in the NFL with the Jaguars back in 94, 95, it's a different group of people now. So there's social media now that didn't have to deal with before, and it can be a cesspool, let's put it that way. But he's been pretty, from what I've been told and speaking with some of the Jaguar players, he's been pretty good to deal with from their standpoint. Now, we haven't seen the Jalen Ramsey impending holdout in the next year or two, so that'll change some things. And there is the Yannick Ngakoue holdout now. So, but for the most part, he's been pretty good to deal with. I've had players and assistant coaches tell me that.
What did everybody think, besides Tom Coughlin in this case, about the Jalen Ramsey entrance? And clearly, was he getting paid by Adidas? Because he was head to toe Adidas, man.
Yeah, well, he left Jumpman for Adidas. That was an Adidas promotion. It said "Feel the Boost" on the truck, which is an Adidas logo. So yeah, that was all taken care of for him. You know what? They liked it. The players liked it. I mean, they joke with him about it. The thing about Ramsey is they know when he's in the building, he's going to prepare, he's going to work, and he's going to do his job. And he's going to be a guy that they can depend on. That's why he's a guy that doesn't show up for the OTAs. And no one has a problem with it because they know he's working. He comes back in shape for the mini camp. There's no problems there. So as long as that stuff doesn't bleed on into his performance, I think that guys are generally fine with what he's doing. Now that GQ article last year, that may be a little bit of a different story because he was writing a check that they had to partially cash themselves. So that might have been an issue. But this armored truck stunt was nothing but a lot of amusement for those guys.
Is he one of the best, or where might you slot him as far as individual defensive players in the NFL?
Well, he's one of the 2 or 3 best corners in the league for sure, and that's a premium position. That size, the size, length, athleticism, speed that he has it's such a rare combination. He's even not like Deion Sanders. I mean, he likes to compare himself, calls himself 2.0 for Deion Sanders 2.0, but he's a more physical player than Deion is. He's longer. It's hard to really get any separation on him if you're a wide receiver. And he would be, if you're building a team over the next 5 years, he would be one of the first 2 or 3 guys you probably would pick, if you were looking at corner for sure. So I think he's one of the best in the league. I don't know how we can differentiate between whether he's better than Stephon Gilmore or whatever. I just know that they stick him on the team's the opponent's best receiver and just worry about the rest of the field.
Mike Duraco of ESPN.com. He writes regarding the Jaguars. He always fills us in. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I find this really interesting because John DeFilippo, who is now the offensive coordinator in Jacksonville, went from penthouse to outhouse in 1 year, from the quarterback's coach to Philly to Minnesota, where they were not good offensively, to now a rebirth of sorts, and again, a reconnection with Nick Foles. And you mentioned the offense should be more up-tempo. What's the expectation for that offense this season down there?
Well, I'll be honest with you. That's the one thing I'm going to watch really closely, because the reason he got fired in Minnesota was he didn't run the ball enough. And, yeah, the quarterback is better. They feel like Foles will make these receivers better. And, yeah, there's some more downfield throws in this offense than in the past several years. But that's a run That offense is going to be built around the run game. That's the way Doug Marrone wants it. That's the way Tom Coughlin wants it. That's why Leonard Fournette is here. So Fournette's going to be a major part of that offense, and it's going to be interesting if they start relying more on the pass game. And it obviously depends on the game situations and such. If you're down by 2 touchdowns at the third quarter, you're probably dumping the run game. But in games that are not in doubt, then absolutely, I would expect them to rely a little bit more on the run game. So it's interesting because that's the question that we've all had, those of us covering the team since they hired him. And the only answer we can get, to be honest with you, is wait until the season because we're not – you can't – until you're in game situations, you really don't know. But it's not the thing that bothered me about last year and DiFilippo's time in Minnesota, or things that were unusual, is with that offensive attack, for them to struggle as much as they did offensively. I don't know where the blame for that goes, but I know that your offensive coordinator usually absorbs some of it. So it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works here in Jacksonville with Coughlin, Marrone, and DiFilippo.
Yeah, and around here too. I mean, obviously the expectations, Mike, are high, but you don't have to go back to find some criticism very far. That early December game in Jacksonville was maybe the ugliest game I've ever seen, to be honest. I mean, especially from an offensive standpoint for the Colts.
Oh, yeah, it was hard to stay awake watching that game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It was bad. That game may have set offensive football back 30 years. I mean, it was just awful.
And that's where everybody around here incredibly excited, much like the owner and much like really everybody nationally is talking about the Colts as well. But you still look at the comparison of the end of season schedule last year for the Colts compared to the quarterbacks and the schedule they faced this year. And then oftentimes that lead balloon in Jacksonville is on the short-term memory of a lot of Colts fans, even if you feel this team might be able to or should represent or could in the AFC title game. I mean, there's a lot of that thought in mind from that disaster offensively.
Yeah, but Andrew Luck when you have Andrew Luck, you've got a chance in every game, obviously. And let's be honest, that was probably the best defensive performance in Jaguars franchise history that day. I mean, it was ungodly. That was not the way they had played all season either. It was just a perfect storm, I guess, that day. But look, hey, I'm picking the Colts to win the division. Absolutely, I'm going to ride that Andrew Luck arm. Now that he's back and back at his pre-injury level, I trust him more than I trust the Colts the Texans and Bill O'Brien, and I certainly trust him more than the Jaguars and Marcus Mariota up there in Nashville. So, I mean, I would be surprised if the Colts don't win the division. But you're right, that game last year was just a smack in the face for them.
Well, and it was probably to some a smack in the face to Jaguars fans because you wonder, I mean, maybe not do this every week, but at least show up every week or at least be something similar to this. It probably at the end of the season like that didn't make a great deal of sense.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. They lost to Pittsburgh because they didn't trust Blake Bortles to throw a ball on 3rd and 5. If they get a first down there, they run the clock out, the game's over. So they give the ball to Fournette. He goes 3 yards. They got a punt. Well, then the Steelers had to drive the length of the field, and that defense didn't make a stop. So we talk about that being an elite defense, and it is at times, but there have been games, even in 2017, they had chances to make stops, and they didn't. And I'm not saying that if they make that stop and they beat the Steelers that everything turns around. Absolutely not. But, man, you've got to make plays when they're in front of you, and this defense is going to have to carry this team at times again in 2019. And they've got to start making some big plays in big moments.
How many games do you think the Jags win this year?
Oh, I think their window is anywhere from 7-9 to 10-6. I mean, that's not a big window, but I think if everything goes right for them, Fournette plays 14 games, he rushes for over 1,000 yards. Foles stays healthy, which, by the way, is not something he's done when he's been going into the season as a full-time, as the unquestioned starter. He's never finished a season. That's only happened twice, but that's still a little bit of a track record. So if he stays healthy, and the defense improves in the pass rush. It looks a lot like it did 2 years ago. And they get a couple of breaks here and there, then they could be 10-6 and in the postseason, as a wild card team. But if Fournette doesn't stay healthy and Foles is out of 3, 4, 5 games, I could see him going 7-9, 6-10. So I'll take the safe route and go right in the middle at 8-8 because I kind of figure that Foles has got to be worth 3 games over Blake Bortles. So I'll just stay at 8-8.
Hey, what's the fan reaction down there with going into a season without Blake Bortles for the first time in a while?
Well, if you look on social media and you search Jaguar fans, it's like, oh my gosh, our quarterback throws spirals now. Oh my gosh, the guys aren't having to reach behind, to grab a pass. It's, oh my gosh, the ball's in the right spot. Oh my God, they're, and I think that might be a problem because they're comparing Foles to what they had, and it's significantly better. And I think in their mind that they're elevating Foles into that elite quarterback category, and he's not that. But they're so excited that they've moved on to somebody who can be consistent and is accurate with the football that the expectations are soaring through the roof. So it's going to be interesting.
Maybe I'm looking at this wrong, but is there a little bit of a comparison to be made here? Because Foles' best moments kind of came, in a thumbnail sketch of a couple 3 weeks or whatever, right? Right? I mean, a game, the biggest game, right? But Bortles had some moments in the biggest games the Jags have been a part of in a long time, and Foles also kind of struggled longevity-wise over the course of the regular season. Is there any concern about that down there, or again, is everybody just happy that Bortles is gone?
I think there's a large segment that's just happy Bortles are gone. It's ABB, anybody but Bortles.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's concern about Foles. Like I said, he's entered this season as the unquestioned starter just twice in his career, and he didn't finish. 1 year, I think he broke a collarbone and missed 8 games. He's not finished the season, so that's a problem. They have nothing at backup behind Nick Foles. Not many teams do have a solid backup. The Carson Wentz Nick Foles situation is a perfect storm. You don't end up with something like that. No, teams just don't get that. So it could be a problem here if he's gone for an extended number of games. They just don't have anything. It'd probably be the rookie Gardner Minshew, 6th-round pick. So yeah, there's some concern that he's going to be durable, but that's partly why they're going to, I think, lean really, really heavily on Leonard Fournette, and it'll be pounded into DeFilippo's head that, hey, look, let's not put our guy at risk. Let's ride the Fournette train, and let's make this offense, run-oriented, and we can probably survive the season that way.
Well, it's funny because even with a quarterback the level of Luck, they want to do that here too. They want to be able to do that now. They feel comfortable about doing it the other way, but they want to be able to run the football and at least try to to be a hell of a lot better, if not dominant, against that team they're running against. So that's what everybody says, though. But anyway,
yeah. But there's a difference between wanting to run it, and needing to run it. And I think the Colts are in that position where, look, if we needed to, we could let Andrew Luck stand back there, throw it 55 times a game. We'd probably win 10 games, no problem. But we don't want to put that on him, so we'd like to be able to run the ball a little bit better. The Jags are in that, oh my gosh, we need to run the ball better because we don't think that we have enough offensive weapons to really get back there and throw it 50 times a game and be a team that can win games by throwing the ball. So I think that's the difference between the franchises at this point. Or one of the differences, anyway.
Hey, Mike, in closing, did you know that dude that got bit by the shark on the elbow and didn't go to the hospital but went and had a bunch of drinks purchased for him, coming off the beach? Did you know him?
I did not know him at all, but I kind of wish I did because he sounds like a pretty good dude to hang out with.
That's a hell of a plan right there. He's going to go to the hospital, thought he needed stitches after a shark bite, and instead went to the bar. Everybody bought him drinks, so he didn't go. Well done.
Yeah, you know what? I think of what I need to do. It wouldn't be bad if you could end up with a little makeup there and show up at a bar one day and go, hey, I got a little fake scar on the arm. Go ahead, you drink for free.
Yeah, I saw that.
You in Jacksonville, yeah.
I think when was that? Was that over the weekend down there?
Yeah, I think late last week, possibly. I think mid to late last week. Yeah, it's We do things a little different over here in Jacksonville, I guess.
Hey, man, at least you have a nice body of water to celebrate next to. That is all good. Hey, Duraco, you're awesome as always, man. Thanks for dropping in. We'll do it again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, bud.
It's Mike Duraco of ESPN.com. Yeah, the story on that, did you read that? It's a guy in Jacksonville that was a surfer, and apparently he came out of the water on the beach and had blood coming off of his elbow. And somebody, hey, what happened? I got bit by a shark. And I think one of the lifeguard or somebody said, hey, you better go to the hospital, and that at least needs stitches or something. So instead of going to the hospital, he walked down, this particular area off the beach to a bar, and they told this story, and everybody started buying him drinks, and apparently he stayed there. Stayed there. It seems like a hell of a plan right there. Is it Shark Week officially right now? Or is Shark Week this week or next week? That's a hell of a shark bite story right there. Have you ever seen a shark on the beach? Have you ever been on the beach anywhere where a shark, or do you just go to Lake Michigan where it'd be like what would swim by? A pike?
No, I've never seen a shark in the
salmon?
wild. I've swam with sharks, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it is an aquarium. I don't know if that counts, but I've never seen a shark out in the ocean.
You ever been stung or bitten by anything in the ocean?
No.
Or pinched?
No.
Nothing? Me either. Yeah, Shark Week. Shark bite. Now, and again, who knows? That story may be completely made up. But it's a hell of a story, you got to admit. If you're going to make up a story, you make up that one. I didn't go in and get this fixed. The shark bit me. I was surfing, but instead I go to the bar and they buy me some drinks. JMV, do you know anybody that's ever been bitten by a shark? I don't. No. Now, stung by a catfish, yes. Because I got some noodling dudes down there. Stung by a catfish, never bitten by a shark. It's a hell of a story. Jay Ryan sends me this. Is there truth to this? I haven't seen this. Puig to the Indians? No. So you're going to ruin my day here, Jay Ryan? Is that what we're trying to do? Trade deadline's coming up on Wednesday. I don't want to see Puig go anywhere. I love watching Yasiel Puig play. I do. Listen, I didn't mind him when he played for the Dodgers, but it's been different watching him for the team that I actively root for and watch all the time because I like the way the guy plays. Yeah, I've never been stung by a jellyfish, and I've never been stung by a catfish either. Or horned. Is it horned or stung? Noodlers? I don't know. Hey, JMV, just because that kid won millions doesn't mean Blake or any other kid is capable of doing it. Just like Klay Thompson can throw up 60 in an NBA game doesn't mean you can. Oh, you're comparing this guy to Klay Thompson. All right. This is like a great comparison. Oh, no, I know what you're thinking. Michael, you're thinking that I really am trying to bring in a trainer for Blake for Fortnite. You really believe that? You could not catch even the slightest hint of sarcasm. Not at all. Zero. Quick one, we'll come back. I have Allison Chain's Corn Tickets. What's the other show that we have on board here today? Is it Slipknot Fest or whatever? What's it called?
Slip Fest.
Oh,
Knot
we
Fest.
got to see. Is it Slipknot Fest?
I think it's just Knot Fest.
Knot Fest. Hold on a second. Knot Fest sounds like it's right up the alley for a lot of our listeners here. Here it is, Knot Fest. You know what? And what's funny? Knot Fest is going to be wild. I think Volbeat's a part of that. Behemoth. And another band I can't pronounce. But in comparison to what's going on in Springville this weekend with the gathering of the Juggalos with Insane Clown Posse, Knot Fest will be like the Air Supply concert compared to what's going on in Springville this weekend. Like you go see Knotfest, you'll think, well, wait a minute, this is Air Supply compared to what will go on down in Springville. And again, I'll tell you, Lawrence County, you are not at all ready for this. Not at all. And having seen the inside of your lockup, you are not ready for what is about to come your way this weekend. Let's give away some Knotfest tickets. We'll do that. Number 7-239-1070. Knotfest. It's coming up on August the 16th. Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center featuring Slipknot. 239-1070. Number 7 is going to go on us. Hey, we'll open it up for you at the phones, at the emails, at the tweets, at the social medias. Next.
You still haven't gotten that exterior painting job done yet, have you? Well, don't worry. You still have time thanks to your neighborhood CertaPro painters. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. And just like at my house, you will love the results. CertaPro Painters of Indianapolis is extending their 20th anniversary special of a free interior wall paint upgrade for any project completed by September 1st. Give CertaPro Painters a call to get on the schedule before the outdoor painting season comes to an end at 800-GO-CERTA or go to CertaPro.com. And remember, Certa is spelled with a C. CertaPro Painters. We do painting, you do life.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Mortgage interest rates continue to drop week after week. I just quoted a 30-year fix at 3.25 without any points or out-of-pocket cost. We can drop your interest rate, lower your monthly payment, and get you the cash you need. Don't miss your chance to lock in to one of these historically low interest rates. It only takes 5 minutes to get approved at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Mazda. Summer's in Indiana. It's a busy time for the Tom Roush Mazda family in Westfield, and it looks like a busy, crowded time for your family. Because what was once the perfect size vehicle for your family now seems like there's barely enough room just to get in the front seat. Maybe the kids grew, maybe the family grew. And there's always the 2 dogs that you said you would never get. Whatever the reason, the Tom Roush Mazda family can find that car, crossover, or SUV that grows with all your needs.
Like the 2019 Mazda CX-5, 0.9% for $60 or lease for $245 per month. And the 2019 Mazda 3 Sedan Sport, 2.9% for $60 or lease for $235 a month. All vehicles only $24.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and dock and first payment.
Take your family to see the Tom Roush Mazda family in Westfield on David Brown Drive. And before you go, take a look at us online at TomRoushMazda.com. At either place, we're the pussycat on price.
Abra Auto Body Repair of America, the name you've come to know and trust for expert collision repair for over 30 years, is now Caliber Collision. A name that is also well known for getting people back on the road quickly and safely, and, in turn, restoring the rhythm of your life. Now you can get world-class collision repair backed by a national lifetime warranty at over 1,000 locations. A new name, great people, and the same high standards in customer service. Abra is now Caliber Collision.
Having ED issues? Locally owned Men's Health Solutions has a $75 initial appointment fee that includes a test dose of medication and sample meds. menshealthsolutions.us.
Protect your wealth with a custom-made retirement plan from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors by calling 844-896-7233 and online at crownhaven.com.
It's the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe.
What's up, Mike Wells?
Outside of letting my son kick my butt in Xbox, 4 or 5, I don't play. Yeah, I let him win. Hey,
Put him on the phone.
Hello?
Hello, who's this?
Kate.
How often do you kick your dad's tail in Madden?
A lot.
The Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe. Weekday mornings, 7 to 10. Only on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
And when you roll onto the field lollygagging like a bunch of frat house joy boys, you don't even realize that you are facing the largest collection of studs ever assembled at an alumni game.
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
All right. This date in history. Leave it here for me. Metallica, 28 years ago today, released this song, which many people believe is their best work, best song of all time. And then the others do not like it, if you're a Metallica fan, because it got too much overall love. Too much commercial praise. Let this thing climb the pop charts back then in 1991. 28 years ago. Enter Sandman. Turn this up really quick. Is this the best or overrated from Metallica here? The best or overrated? JMV at 1070thefan.com. JMV, Berlinetta. Serious recall right there. I love it. I'm all over the Berlinetta. JMV, as someone who's been to a gathering of the Juggalos that got tear gassed by the local authorities. Wait a minute. Corey Hall has been to the gathering, or in the past, gathering of Juggalos, which would be fans of Insane Clown Posse. And there is like a 4-day celebration called the Gathering of the Juggalos going on in Lawrence County in Springville this weekend, Thursday through Sunday. And Insane Clown Posse, Ghetto Boys, KRS-One, Morris Day and the Time, Guar, there's a ton. Gilbert Gottfried is going to do his stand-up, all in Springville, Indiana. Lawrence County has no idea what's about to hit them. I completely agree. None. You guys are asking me if I need to do a remote down there. Would you guys listen if I did a remote from Gathering of the Juggalos? Little Friday remote. Me and KRS-One and the Juggalos and Gilbert Gottfried. Got shot with this. The only way Blake gets a Fortnite trainer is if a Fortnite trainer sponsor is created, just like your hair, mower, testosterone. Brother, I need sponsors. We love sponsors. I love helping them create business. Hey, ask this. Ask my man, Brent Halverson. Ask Brent Halverson, who went on a vacation because of the growth around here of the greatness that is Evan Williams, Larceny, and their products. All you got to do is latch on, man. You latch on, and we'll take you there. And we'll all do it together. Gathering of the Juggalos. Not Fest. Not Fest. It's going to be like Air Supply compared to that. That's fantastic. Hey, JMV, I've noticed recently that your producer is starting to sound up and talk a little bit more. Well done. Hashtag content. He is. I told you he would. JMV, I think you need to do a remote down there Friday. You talk about an epic anything goes. See, I just don't want to get tear gassed during anything goes, all right? I don't want to be sitting there doing the show and doing anything goes and get tear gassed. Full Metal Pete says this: if you do not go, I'm never listening again. It is going to be incredible radio. Last time you said you weren't listening, you like F-bombed me 9 or 10 times. Come on, Full Metal Pete. That makes me laugh. You guys know that I see all, right? You guys know that I know and I see all. So you can't sneak one past me. You can't hit me with that backdoor slider because I'm going to know. Yeah, I don't want to see Yasiel Puig go anywhere. I see where they are talking about Tanner Roark. So clearly, I mean, the Reds are going to end up. Yeah. I mean, sure, it hurts my feelings, but I did like the way, at times, we saw Alex Wood in his debut yesterday. His debut was all right. I think somebody hit one in the river off of him, but yeah, besides that. This is from Josh. So Morris Day and the Time next to Guar. I'm sold. Yeah, CNC Music Factory. CNC Music Factory and Guar. No idea how all that's going to work, but they're supposed to have it work. So good luck with it. Kind of scary. JMV, the Camaro Berlinetta was so slow. Had an old Iron Duke 4-cylinder in it. Your Tundra would smoke it, and no question. I'm on now, Tundra. JMV, I heard you ripping on the pirate broadcasters yesterday. Why? Because all they do is whine all the time. Whine about this. Oh, they're not doing it right. Oh, unwritten baseball rules. Don't steal the base. Tell your guys to hold them on. Tell your pitcher to look at them. 7-run lead. This is beer league softball anymore. I mean, this baseball is beer league softball. All right, treat it as such. It's like you going out there in the Bloomington D League playing against Stemline. Team Stemline. If you win the championship, they give you a bunch of one-hitters. That's Team Stemline. Yeah, there's not too many leads in this era of baseball are safe. So act accordingly. D-Huck with his update. Traffic absolutely ridiculous on the west side. My dad's coming from the north side and said it's just as bad there. I mean, we just got complete another traffic foobar around here. This traffic foobar update brought to you by D-Huck. Seriously, where are you going to go? Because then when you go to roads that are actually open, they're going to be so congested and clogged that you're not going to go anywhere. Seriously, Gen Con this weekend, I-70's closed from the airport to here. They're going to have to teleport themselves like Star Trek from the airport down to the convention center. I don't know how they're going to get there otherwise. Hey, JMV, I heard you talking a little bit earlier to TJ McConnell. I think this is going to end up being a sneaky good signing. What say you? I think that we are going to look back on this and we are going to admire the importance of it more than what you might sitting there right now. I truly believe that. Because there is a lot of unknown, especially at that position. And listen, I'm not against Aaron Holiday. I think Aaron Holiday is going to be good, but Aaron Holiday, as far as, coming in and everything is okay and getting the ball where it needs to be, you have a guy that has done that in the past. I think this is going to end up being a really sneaky good signing. Now, I'm not talking junk. It's for real. Really sneaky good signing. Traffic foobar. JMV, if you were to F-bomb Tony Stewart, would you run after doing it? Well, I don't know if the dude F-bombed him, but he did something to make Tony mad, and then Tony chased him down and punched him. I think it'd have been better for the guy if maybe he would have squared up with him instead of running from him, probably. And probably Tony shouldn't try to track him down. And that's what they do at those races, though. Hell, they all do it. These guys fight all the time. I'd be fighting mad if I were that guy that parked outside the fence in the parking lot at Bloomington Speedway and some guy in his sprint car came bouncing out there about 8 times and landed in the bed. Now, those guys fight all the time. That's just Tony. Listen, if you yell at Tony Stewart, he may end up punching you. Really, if you yell at anybody in those situations at the driver, you may end up getting punched. That's what happens there. I think it's kind of commonplace that guys throw. Maybe it shouldn't be, but it's gone on forever. Hey, Manny is at 239-1070 right now. Manning, hello. How are you, Manny?
Hey, this is Manny, JMV. Nice to talk to you, man.
How was Hammer's house party, Manny?
Hey man, you missed a good concert, man. Let me tell you, that was one of the, man, I'm telling you, Hammer still got it, but I'm going to tell you who did it for me. Coolio was good.
Oh, yeah.
Kid and Play was good. Biz Marquis was cool. DJ Cool came on first, hyped the crowd up. Man, me and my best friend, Bobby, man, we had the greatest of times. You done started something, JMV.
Let me add, and Manny, I'm glad I could help you, man. I am glad you're going. Did Kid and Play do the house party dance that they did in that with the clicking the heels and slapping 5 with their feet and stuff?
Yes, sir. They did. They did. Yeah. You know, I had to get that on.
See, I've told this before. When Kid was in studio, I said, it's my dream to do that dance with you. I kind of want to do that with my heels and stuff. It hurt my knees.
I used to do that. Me and my best friend, we used to do that dance at parties. We used to DJ parties back in the day. That's true story.
Well, I am glad you got to go, and I'm glad it was incredibly enjoyable for you, too.
Hey, man, thank you, man. Hey, man, you started something because now we're planning a guy trip to Vegas, so we're going to see. Our birthdays is around the same time. Mine is in October, his is in November, so we got some other people that we're going to do a guy trip thing, man. So I'll keep you posted on that, man.
I got you.
JMV.
Manny, my friend, thank you. I'm glad I enjoyed it. I promised Manny that I would get him tickets to go see Hammer's House Party. And as usual on this show, we deliver for you. Always. So he went. He enjoyed it. That makes me feel good. Jeff Hansen writes this. JMV, the state of Indiana's roads. No, check that. Is this true, Jeff? The state of Indiana ranks 50th in managing road construction projects. Is there a ranking there, or are you just making that up because it's bad? I got a question for everybody right now, all right? Logical, Connecticut water question of the day. This is a non-sports related version of it. Are we allowed to complain about traffic FUBAR when they're fixing the roads right now after complaining about the FUBAR and the condition the roads were in all winter? Are we allowed to do that? Does that make us big-time hypocrites? Are we allowed to complain about the traffic FUBAR everywhere? I mean, everything is a red line right now. No pun intended. Everything's a red line of stop traffic. Are we allowed to complain about that after all winter long complaining about the condition of the roads? Yeah. I thought you were making that up, Jeff, but I thought it was a pretty good stat. I think I'm going to just put that up there as your non-factual poll, Jeff, if that's okay. Complain about it in the winter, fix it in the summer. Complain about fixing it in the summer. What do you think? Quick one. We'll come back final time. Tomorrow's show is going to be absolutely fantastic. The Darius Rucker, Hootie and the Blowfish lead, going to join us coming up at the start of the show tomorrow. We got a lot for you coming up on tomorrow's show. Rest of the week is going to be fantastic too. And to close this show, your calls, and I'll give you a chance to go out to Ruoff for a show that you absolutely will love. Some tweets, some emails, some calls, and overall incredible entertainment value coming at you next.
How well do you know the Indiana State Fair? Test your knowledge on 1075thefan.com for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to this year's festivities.
Hoosier fans, Indiana football tickets are on sale now for the 2019 season. IU football hosts 6 home games this fall, including matchups against Big Ten East rivals, the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan Wolverines. Fans can purchase single-game tickets as low as $20 and $200 for season tickets. For complete ticket information, visit IUHoosiers.com today. Go IU!
As a small business owner, when was the last time you considered switching internet providers?
I don't even remember. Running a business keeps me pretty busy.
Let's compare your current provider to Comcast Business. Are you getting fast, reliable internet?
Sometimes.
How about a full suite of innovative services like separate Wi-Fi networks, 4G wireless backup, and advanced voice solutions?
I highly doubt it.
Sounds like Comcast Business could give you more. Make the switch to the nation's largest gig speed network now and get an amazing deal. Right now, get fast 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and autopay. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Monthly service charge increases by $10 without paperless billing and autopay. Offer ends 8/21/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra, subject to change. Backup limited to up to 8 hours.
Back. And Cage the Elephant. Live in concert this Sunday at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center with very special guest Spoon and Wild Bell. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Back and Cage the Elephant. All the hits for one night only. Check more at beck.com and cagetheelephant.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
Hey, let's get you a fantastic getaway. A staycation. How about that? Thank you, Tony. Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. Here's the reason why. Because Tony's offering up a midweek staycation during the month of August. 3 nights, Sunday through Thursday, just $199. That's what's going to get you 3 nights in a garden double room. Outstanding. Now, $99 more, add that, and you will get a lakeside view. Spectacular. You got everything to do down there. The Windjammer Bar and Grill is spectacular. You've got a heated indoor-outdoor pool, mini golf, boat rental, hiking trails. I mean, Bloomington, still in the summertime, is the absolute best. You can hit Bloomington. So many things to do. So if you're trying to squeeze out the last possible vacation, make it a staycation with Tony and Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. 812-824-2628. Hey, I want you to go ahead and make sure that you book this right now because I don't want them to run out on you. 812-824-BOAT or online, fourwindslakeside.com.
Guys, erectile dysfunction got you down? The Indianapolis Men's Clinic's all-male staff specializes in treating ED and other sexual health-related issues. Call today for a consultation, 999-9000.
Go trackside with Kurt Cavan and Kevin Lee. Tomorrow night at 7 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Bullish Brents hanging and banging with you until the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up, we have artists such as Living Color and the Fine Young Cannibals right now. Here's Roxette, The Look, 89.9 WROL.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
TJ McConnell, Mike DeRocco today. Darius Rucker tomorrow. Yeah, listen, I put the feeler out to Chris Denary. Chris Denary loves Darius Rucker. And I told Denary if he wanted to come in and be a part of it or just do it, we'd certainly let him do that. So the invitation is out. That is tomorrow early on the show. See if I can catch up with Wrights coming up on tomorrow's show, too, a little bit. Hadley says we're definitely allowed to complain here, JMV. You talking like these same roads weren't junk come winter. Oh, and if traffic didn't blow already, resurfacing on Northside 69 is this weekend also. Not good. So JMV, was it a 9 and under baseball tournament this weekend? On a pop fly, parents on the other team were yelling, "Miss it," at my son's team. Thought I was watching Danny trying to putt in and Caddyshack. Miss it, Noonan. Some parents are crazy. 9 and under baseball where the parents during a pop fly are yelling, "Miss it." See, and again, that's jackassery. Just like LeBron James running out there and getting in his kid and the other kid's layup line is jackassery. It's just a different level of it. It's all the same. Miss it? 9 and under. I mean, what, do you laugh if one of the kids get hit? I mean, what's wrong with you? Miss it? Yeah, LeBron James, the same thing. You can say what you want. Getting out there on the layup line is ridiculous. I mean, running out on the floor. Can you imagine if anybody else did that? Any other dad did that? Hell, you might get arrested, or at least you would get tossed from the joint. I agree with you, though, Matt. If you're going to watch kids play in a pop fly, don't yell, "Miss it," jackass parents. All right? Oh, man. Why do we even have to tell you that? You even got to be told this? JMV, I think people have a right to complain the roads are bad because they didn't prevent it from happening, and complaining about it, fixing the roads, is also a result of them not doing enough preventative measures. Hire more salt trucks and keep the roads clear in the winter. My man, Nate Thomas. Everybody's suggesting that, yeah, you know what, we have the right to complain. I'm going to have to start using the whole angle of taxpayers. I don't use that ever. I'm going to start using, I'm a taxpayer. Yes, I'm going to complain. I'm a taxpayer. No idea. That's pretty good right there, though. I don't know why we have to tell parents that, though. Tell parents not to yell miss it on a pop fly in a 9 and under league. We're all kind of screwed up, aren't we? See it all the time. All kind of screwed up. JMV, I heard your interview with TJ McConnell a little bit earlier. I thought it was really good. And I would agree with you. I think it's someone that you're going to look back and they go, I'm glad that they made that move. It may not look major right now, but I think further down the road, you're going to feel more secure because he's a part of that roster. I would tend to agree with you. So he lit up Archie's team and then got recruited by Archie's brother. Done like that. Wonder how he got recruited by Archie's brother. I think was it just enough that they're leaving Duquesne to go to Arizona? Or that's what I should ask him, I guess. It never occurs to you to ask that until 2 hours later. It's my fault. I'm just thinking, okay, well, this is Duquesne and that's Arizona. See ya, is my thought. Kevin Benson says, here's the traffic foop. Is that true? There's a red line all the way around. The only green we have right now is from the 865. The 865 dog leg. Do I sound like Mr. Traffic Guy here? The 865 dog leg all the way down to Speedway. So I'm assuming all the way down to 10th Street. So that's the only. And there's still a little bit of red in that northbound lane off of 465 up near the 865 dog leg. See, I could do this traffic stuff in a minute. Ben's at 239-1070. Hello, Ben. How are you?
Hey, John. Avid listener. Great show today.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, just want to talk more about the roads. One thing a lot of people don't realize is that the climate we have here, and I work in construction. I have a ton of friends in road construction. That the climate we have here is horrible for roads. You have to play the difference between the tropics and the Arctics. And it's not just the salt getting in everything. It's the mixes in the asphalt, the profiles, the things like that cause issues. And then the second thing is all this construction has been backed up since June because of the 1 million gallons of water we got early spring. These were all supposed to be, 90% of these should have been weekend projects only. So I kind of get where everybody's coming from, but that's my 2 cents.
Hey, at least we're not the state of Michigan, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It could be worse. It could be worse. Hey, how much would you charge me to build a pole barn on my property?
A pole barn?
A pole barn. I need a little concrete floor pole barn. Yes, pole barn.
I'd have to know more information, but I could hook you up for sure.
All right, Ben. Get back with me on the pole barn question. I need a good pole barn. JMV, they didn't have to close everything all at once, did they? Tyler's right. Nothing is bigger than the ego of a man in his mid-40s watching his kid play Little League. Miss it. I mean, that makes you kind of want to go over there and punch him. See, hey, Matt, people want to know this now since you brought it up. Did the kid catch it or drop it? And when he dropped it, was there cheering? Because I would say this, if the ball is dropped, you can't cheer that either. I mean, if it's a pop-up in the infield or if it's presumably, in this case, a can of corn and it's under 9, you don't cheer, do you? A drop pop-up? I feel like I'm the Pittsburgh Pirates announcer. I'm trying to make baseball rules for everybody right now. You don't cheer a drop pop-up. I would guess. Zach Myers of Fox 59, he's a news anchor, is currently doing 12 miles an hour on 465 on my way to State Road 37. Well, see, there's a red spot. There's no way in the world I would drive anywhere near the southwest side. Kentucky Avenue, Man Road, nope, and nope. That's terrible. JMV, Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, Kentucky, they don't deal with the same weather. Roads suck because of planning and materials, period. Kentucky's got great roads. Or at least the ones that are paved. I mean, some of the backwoods hollers, I'm sure, aren't good. But the ones that are paved, 65's luxurious. It's only until you get to the state of Indiana. I mean, it goes from like 4 lanes, luxurious, and then squeezes you like a damn zit when you go into New Albany. Come on. And they've been working on that road for, 30 years too, by the way. Hey, I'm done. Alice in Chains and Korn. Anybody want to go? Jerry Cantrell was on this show, 3 weeks ago? Outstanding. You're going to love Alice in Chains and Korn. Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. I'm going to give this to number 10 right now. Number 10 at 239-1070 is going to go on us. Thank you, Ruoff. Thank you, Live Nation. Got to thank Kyle and Kimmy as always. You guys are the absolute best. Great job, Kyle, out of you. TJ McConnell, Mike DeRocco. All about Colts, all about Pacers, all about what you care about every day right here. And tomorrow, one of the better-known guys in the music business, Darius Rucker's is going to give us some time a little bit after 3. Cannot wait. Back with you tomorrow at 3. Have a great night.
Wouldn't you like to have a nice, relaxing